Kick off the weekend with the people. Now, it's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour one of Jon and Jim. We are outside the Naughty Barrel on a spectacular Friday afternoon, getting you ready for Padres and Rockies. It is sunny. It is in the 70s. We're with you for the next 3 hours. Of course, our Padres insider Kevin Acee is going to swing by, and you should as well. They've got just amazing food and drinks. We've been telling you about it all season long. Right now, they're nominated for something really cool, the Reader Poll, Best of 2024, Best Barbecue in San Diego, right here at the Naughty Barrel.
San Diego's Best of 2024. The barbecue here is amazing. No surprise they're nominated for Best Barbecue in San Diego. So go there right now, vote for Naughty Barrel, or come on down, have some barbecue to try it out. Happy hour starts at 4 p.m.
All right, so we're going to be here for the next 3 hours getting you ready for another big series because they all are. It's Padres-Rockies, which doesn't have the same cachet as Padres-Dodgers, but when you're in the thick of a race like the Padres are in, when you still have a chance to win a division, everything is important. And here's the thing, Jim. We've talked about it over the last couple of days. The Padres just don't play well against the Rockies, or have not this year. They're 2-5 against the Colorado Rockies. Austin Gomber in his career. Did you realize this? What do you think Austin Gomber's career numbers are against the Rockies?
Well,
throw out an ERA.
Oh, now you said that.
Well, yeah, now that I said it, it sounds like it's going to be good.
But I already knew it was really good because once you see Austin Gomber on the schedule to start versus the Padres, your first thought is, oh, no. So I'm going to say he has an under 3 ERA against the Padres.
3.09 in 14 games, 10 starts, which, by the way, is under 3 because half those games have been at Coors Field. So Austin Gomber's been really good, and then you got Randy Vasquez on the other side coming off a bad outing. So, like, on paper, Jim, we talk about it all the time. Padres are better than the Rockies. They should win this series. Maybe they can sweep this series. Truthfully, game one is a real test. Gomber, who's been good, Padres have been bad against the Rockies, and Randy Vasquez has been up and down as a Padre.
It's a series that, on paper, you're like,
yeah,
who cares, right? Oh, we just won 9 of 11. We just swept swept the Dodgers. They swept the Nationals. They took 2 or 3 from the Guardians and the Orioles. You're not viewing this series on paper as anything that you should be concerned about as a fan. Yeah, no, I'm not like that. I view this series completely different. I view this series as a little bit of a trap series, honestly, because you have not played well against the Rockies this year, and you just got off playing a amazing 11-game stretch to get here, made some big-time trades. Hopefully, you don't let your foot off the gas pedal, thinking to yourself, oh, we're playing the Rockies this weekend. Who cares? Like, we're just going to go out in the field. We're going to beat them no matter what. Like, you can't think like that this weekend, and especially because you played bad against the Rockies. You don't want this to potentially bite you in the ass at the end of the year, where you look up and if you missed the postseason by a game, and you say, well, we went like 4-8 versus the Rockies this year, or 4-9 or whatever, that's not going to cut it.
No, it won't, and that is a really good point. You could argue you'll learn more about the Padres this weekend than you did over the 2 games against the Dodgers. Why? They have played up to teams, even when they haven't been the best team. Like in 2023, they were good against good teams. In 2024, they've been relatively good against good teams. It's the teams like the Rockies and the Angels and others. There's a couple of others in there as well that come to mind that they haven't been
bad teams
at their best. So, again, Dodgers series is great. Winning a season series against LA is phenomenal. It really is, and it could pay dividends down the road as well. But it's easy to get up for big games. Can you get up for series like this? There's no reason to think they shouldn't. I mean, they're going to play in front of 45,000 people all weekend. They're home. It's 75 and sunny. They're playing some of the best baseball in the sport. Just got to prove it on field. That's what they have to do. They got to win this series. They don't have to be perfect. I said this yesterday. You don't have to be perfect against the Rockies from here on out, or the Rays and the White Sox, the Tigers. You got to consistently win series, and that's got to be the goal this weekend. I know a lot of people say the Rockies are terrible. You got to sweep them. No. Win the series, you're in good shape.
Yeah, that's the goal. Get to Monday, taking 2 or 3. That's what you got to do here. You can't slip up. You can't have anything at the end of the season be like, man, we didn't play good against the Rockies, and that's why we're not in the postseason. Like, that's the last thing you want to think about is you don't make the postseason because you didn't play well against the Rockies. Like,
right. It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. Like, the one road series the Rockies have won this year was here at Petco Park. Now, I'm not I'm not scared about this series per se. I'm just kind of in the mindset of don't do this, guys. Don't do it. Like I'm starting to get on that fully trust you train. You guys are playing amazing baseball of late. Don't do this. Not right now. Especially in a stretch of games, the 15 that we've talked about, where if you play really good baseball, and you don't have to play amazing baseball, go 12-3. You just go 10-5. I would take that in a second. You go 10-5, you are 14 games over.
13
games over. I can't do math. You're 13 games over, and
you're set up to make the postseason, you would think. You're in good shape
as you head into September.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you'd be set up to make the postseason at that point. I say that, and I look at what's going on in the National League. And remember, this was a very mid-league until recently, and all of a sudden, you look at it on paper, and teams like the Diamondbacks have played well, and the New York Mets, and St. Louis and Pittsburgh are still there. They're not playing brilliantly right now, but this is a fight right now. But you go 10-5, you're creating separation on someone, because there's no way all these teams do the same thing. Atlanta, Arizona, New York, Pittsburgh aren't all going 10-5. Someone's going to drop off if you consistently do this. Also, if you go 10-5 here, you look up, what are they, 22-11 in their last 33? All of a sudden, you're 32-16. You played 667 baseball.
That's the record that they would need to have to
win the division.
Potentially win the division.
Did you see today Fangraphs? They're like, listen, this thing is up for grabs. You look at the division, the Padres schedule. Again, you can get carried away here compared to the Dodgers schedule. A look at the rosters. And if it's ever going to happen, this is a time where it could happen. I mean, there are reasons to believe that the Padres are actually vying for the division right now, and this is not fool's gold. That's Fangraphs, not us.
We can talk about it. I don't think the players are necessarily thinking about it just yet. But I am also now hey, what are the Dodgers doing? When 3 weeks ago, I could care less.
Right.
But now I'm going to look to see how they played against the Oakland A's this weekend. And it could change very quickly, and I could stop looking at what the Dodgers are doing if the Padres slip up here and lose 2 or 3 and the Dodgers ended up sweeping the A's.
Right.
Then you're kind of like, okay, never mind. That was fun for 24 hours. But it is now intriguing going into the stretch run here, into the dog days and final 2 months of the season, where you're in striking distance. Your schedule. Baseball. 1-2 games back potentially.
Absolutely.
And then it starts to get really real. I mean, you get to the 2-game mark, even the 3-game mark. This is real now, John.
I mean, the 3-game mark can happen tonight with the right results. I mean, you'd be within 3.5 games. I mean, you get a win and they lose. Now, or it goes the other way. You're 5.5. But you're right. I'm with you. Maybe it's not another game, but another 2 games. You pulled it within 2.5 games, 3 games, the LA Dodgers.
Yeah.
Then I don't care about, it's all, there's plenty of time. I mean, there's plenty of time at 4.5, but it starts getting really real at 2.5, 2, and that's possible even this weekend by playing good baseball.
Yeah, but if none of it matters if you don't take care of business.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't take care of business against the Rockies here, and Austin Gomber has had his number with you, to be honest. Cal Quantrill's pitching on Sunday. He's had a pretty decent season. And tomorrow, who knows? But another thing that kind of scares me is, not scares me per se, but keep an eye on is this series for the Padres. They're not throwing out Cease, Waldron. King is not scheduled as of right now. Randy Vasquez and Martin Perez, who is a complete unknown right now because they traded for him. Pirates, he's had a horrible season with them. Vasquez, his start against the Orioles last Sunday was not good. Hopefully he has a bounce back tonight. You aren't throwing out 3 really good pitchers in this series, potentially. What happens on Sunday. We'll see what happens with Michael King. And who knows what happens there, but it's no excuse, to be honest with you. There's no excuse to not get this taken care of this weekend and win no less than 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We started the show 10 minutes ago saying, you say Rockies, Padres, you see the Rockies are trending in the wrong direction like they always are. You see the Padres trending in the right direction.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you say, well, this is simple. Padres are home. This is simple. Rockies don't win on the road. Yeah, they
easy series, right?
But when you really look at it, and that's what we're trying to do here, and we're telling you, Austin Gomber has been good against the Padres. For me, honestly, winning this series, I'm not saying it's the most impressive thing they're doing, but again, there is something about it that would be impressive because again, to beat the Dodgers is one thing, to beat the Orioles is one thing, to do it against a team that's easy to look past. But again, like you said, you're not throwing Dylan Cease
or Matt
in all
Waldron.
likelihood, or Matt Waldron in this
Or
series.
maybe Michael King.
Well, and we'll talk about
Yeah.
that coming up. We'll have the latest on Michael King coming up. But also, one thing to consider here, and this is likely matchup dependent, and also you're going to give guys days off, and Rise has been banged up. Luis Rise is out of the lineup. That's a left-handed starter, but we talked about Jay Cronenworth sitting against left-handed starters. We'll sit Luis Rise, Jordan Profar's at the top of the order, Donovan Solano DHs. I'm not going to read into it. I'm going to assume it's the second half of the season. Guys get days off. It's against a lefty. It makes a little bit of sense, and that's why Luis Ariz sits.
I think you're right. We want to get Donovan Solano in the lineup. We're not going to make this a true platoon with Jake, even though maybe they should, but we're not going to do that. Probably also too because take Jake out of the lineup, you put Donovan Solano in there along with Luis Ariz.
Mm-hmm.
Both those guys are in the infield. Your defense it drops dramatically.
Right.
So you kind of think to yourself, well, Jake's in there mostly because defensively we need him. Offensively, yes, he's not good versus lefties. It's just he has not played well offensively this year versus lefties. But defensively, it's something that we value, and that's why he's in this lineup. You put Donovan Solano in the field along with Luis Ariz, that could be tricky because who you putting at second? You're putting Luis Ariz at second. He hasn't played second base in how long?
Year, yeah. It's been a while.
And Jake and Xander Bogaerts is your second baseman.
Yep.
Manny Machado's at third. Kim's at short. So like how is that going to work? So I know the DH standpoint, you're going to have one of those guys probably at DH, but we're looking at defensive.
No doubt about it. Cronenworth in, Ariz out. And again, Donovan Solano has some big moments for this club. Let's see if that continues here tonight against Austin Gomber. If you're heading down, this is the place to start your weekend. Naughty Barrel, 9th and Market. Best barbecue in San Diego. They're up for right now in the Best of 2024 Readers Bowl. Best barbecue. Food and drink specials begin at 4 p.m. We're broadcasting outside until 6. Come say hi. Swing by. If you're going to the game or not, they will have the game on, obviously, here at the Naughty Barrel. Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. He will join us coming up at 5:30. Jim mentioned Michael King. Will he or won't he start on Sunday? We have the absolute latest for you next as we get you ready for Padres and Rockies. Game 1 of a 3-game series from Petco Park. It's Jon and Jim. Stay with us.
continue live from Naughty Barrel with the faithful looking at the Padres-Rockies series and getting ready for the weekend. Now back to Jon and Jim.
All right, hit us up on the Talkback mic. Just open the free iHeartRadio app. Listen to San Diego Sports 760. Tap that little microphone icon next to the play button to leave a 30-second talkback. We can play those coming up on today's show. We're at the Naughty Barrel. Great spot, downtown San Diego. Petco Park blocks away. Padres-Rockies playing game one. All is well in Padre land, or is it? Let's hear from Michael King. I didn't even remember. So he took a comebacker.
He did versus the Orioles.
Yeah, I kind of recall it. But he's been pitching so well, so you're like, this guy's invincible.
And it was early on in the game.
Yeah.
He ended up pitching
well.
Get this right.
He did pitch well.
He pitched well. I want to say he pitched into the seventh.
That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking it's like 6 innings, 1 run, or 6 innings, 2 runs in that outing. That's what's in my head. Jim's looking it up.
All right. So that game, John, he pitched into the seventh, 6 1/3, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 hits, 2 runs.
Right. So he's pitching beautifully, but there's TBA for Sunday. Why? Let's hear from Michael King this afternoon inside the Padres clubhouse.
It's fine. Swelled up on me a little bit, so it's a little sensitive and kind of a gnarly bruise, but it's good.
Sort of day after or days after.
Yeah, days after. Just feeling like some tightness, a little bit of pain where the swelling is. Just soft, It's got to be a little harder than I wanted it to.
What's your understanding of how that affects when you'll next pitch?
We've been taking it day by day. I still don't know full scheduling. It's more of like what I can tolerate that day, and we're moving forward from there. The communication I've had said with them, as in pitching coaches and front office, has been like, we have all these off days, so it's, I don't want to say good timing, but like they have people that they can kind of fill into my place. But whenever I'm ready to go, I'll definitely get the ball.
I'm sorry.
No.
Have you thrown a bullpen with it yet?
No.
No? Do you know where that is?
Hopefully in the next couple of days. Yeah.
No bullpen. Hopefully we'll throw one in the next couple of days. He's not pitching Sunday would be my guess.
Nope. That tells me, no Sunday, probably bullpen day. I would guess that right now it's going to be a combination of maybe Brian Hoeing starting or I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. No, you're right. Because off yesterday, off Monday, do anything you want.
Yeah.
Off yesterday, off Monday, you can do everything is available to you.
Right.
You would never rush it. And by the way, the greatest indicator with starting pitchers is bullpens. If you don't throw a bullpen, you don't start. It's like if you don't practice, you don't play. So now maybe they throw the bullpen on a Saturday, Sunday. And then with the off day Monday, you're now back in line for Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it is. But you haven't thrown a bullpen, and he's hoping to do it the next couple of days, means you're not going to pitch or you're not going to start on Sunday in the big leagues, you wouldn't think.
And you're going to need some length tonight from Randy Vasquez because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow with Martin Perez. And truthfully, you're going to need a little bit of length from Martin Perez tomorrow.
Vasquez Perez doesn't mean you're guaranteed to go 6 innings.
No, it's, if anything, you're kind of guaranteed to be using a lot of your bullpen, it feels like.
Which, again, that's a strength considering yesterday off and Monday off. All right, you can tax it a little bit more than maybe you would otherwise with all the off days.
But when you have a series with a starting pitcher who you just picked up in a trade who has had a really bad season, and then you have Randy Vasquez, who his last start was bad, but he can give you a quality outing. I mean, if tonight Johnny pitches into the
6 innings, 1 hit or 1 run.
Yeah. If he gets you in the 6th tonight, that's exactly what you want. It's all you need. Tomorrow is the question of how much can you get from Martin Perez? Because if you get a good outing from Martin Perez, say he gives you 5 innings tomorrow, then you're probably afforded to go full bullpen day on Sunday.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if you saw this. It was Too Much Morton's on Twitter. Perez in his career, first time, second time, third time through the order.
Yeah.
His ERA, 3.68 first time, 4.74 second time, 5.48 third time. Means he's not going third time through lineups here would be my guess. But this year, first time through the order with his high ERA, he's got a 2.6. So as a bit of an opener for those first, 9 to, I'm making up, 15 batters where he's just getting into the second time through, again, he gives you 3 or 4 innings. Maybe he pitches well, allows a run in 3 or 4 innings, and then you turn it over to this really quality bullpen. But with Sunday not a known commodity,
Right.
maybe you're going to ask Perez to go more than 3 or 4 innings on Saturday.
And what would really help is if the offense just puts up a boatload of
Oh, that'd be
runs.
good.
Yeah.
Like they scored 10 runs
Yeah.
and you can allow 5 and you're still fine.
Yeah, you can have Stephen
Yeah.
Cole pitch for a couple innings. You can have, Alec Jacob pitch for like a couple innings. Adrian Moreholm pitch for a couple innings. You can piece together if the offense, puts up a 10 spot. Like I feel like that would be very beneficial for this series alone.
I like
to
that.
have that happen in one of these games.
10 runs.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I think it's good. By the way,
in the off day, actually, it really helps too.
Well, again, King said like these off days help. We've been saying the off days help, right? Well, the organization is saying the off days help. Listen to King's last 5 starts: 1.76 ERA, 152 batting average against. This guy's been an ace.
Is that good?
So the part of it that worries you is like we're looking for more of it. Now, if you need an extra day or 2 or 3, all good. Take it. You need to skip a turn. Great.
Right.
If this is who you are on the other side, you just hope that is the pitcher he is on the other side because he's pitching like Dylan Cease. I mean, nobody's pitching like Dylan Cease, but he's pitching like a comp to Dylan Cease over the last month.
He's pitching like a guy that you'd be comfortable if you started a postseason series as your number 1 starter. If you didn't, very comfortable with Michael King starting game 1 of the postseason series.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tonight is Gomber back. Michael King. I'd be surprised. You'd be surprised if he started. All right.
You guys know the bullpen, John?
He's not starting.
He's not starting Sunday.
All right, here's what we're going to do on the other side. Who's now the favorite to win National League Rookie of the Year? We have an update for you coming up next. We're at the Donnie Barrel, downtown, 9th and Market, here until 6 p.m. Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. He's going to join the show coming up at 5:30. The latest on Michael King and the Padres here down the back stretch. We're with you until 6 p.m. We're at the Donnie Barrel. Come say hi. Stay with us right now on Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Padres-Rockies start a 3-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres against Austin Gomber for the Rockies. This Olympic update talking about golf. Xander Schauffele tied for the lead after 2 rounds at 11 under par. He's tied with Tommy Fleetwood and Hideki Matsuyama. Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
It's Padres Rockies at Petco tonight. And we're looking for the most fired up Friar fanatics out at Naughty Barrel. 844 Market Street. Now back to Jon and Jim.
All right, with you here from the Naughty Barrel until 6 p.m. as the Padres and Rockies will open up a 3-game series at 6:40 inside Petco Park. Before you make your way inside, swing by the Naughty Barrel. Happy hour begins at 4 p.m. Great food and drinks. Some of the best barbecue in San Diego, nominated actually for the best of 2024 Readers Poll for the best barbecue. So get here, even if you don't have tickets. Of course, the game will be on later on today. Here from the Naughty Barrel, we're 2 blocks away. We're 2 blocks away from Petco Park here at 9th and Market. There's an update, Jim, from MLB.com on the Rookie of the Year. I don't know.
Rankings?
Best, yeah, I guess. It's kind
Power-
of like, a
power
power ranking. I
rankings,
mean, it's
yeah.
obviously not official
No.
because it's MLB.com. I personally think they have it right. And what they have is that the leader right now is Paul Skeens in the National League. And if you don't think that's the case, then you're seeing this thing through rose-colored glasses. It doesn't take away from everything that Jackson Merrill has done. He's had an amazing year, but Paul Skeens has stolen the attention around baseball. So as MLB sees it, MLB.com, they have Paul Skeens with basically all of the first-place votes among their voters. Now, Jackson Merrill, to his credit, is second in that ranking, and the season, Jim, isn't over. But how could you look at it any other way right now if you're going to be unbiased? It's Paul Skeens to lose, I would say, heading into the final 2 months.
We love Jackson Merrill, right?
He's been great.
This is a Jackson Merrill show.
It is.
We love Jackson Merrill. It's kind of right now. I'm sorry. It's kind of obvious who right now leads the way Rookie of the Year voting.
It is, unfortunately.
If it were to end today, that does not mean we don't like Jackson Merrill because we think Paul Skeens is the Rookie of the Year. Trust me. This show would love
the praises.
would love to see Jackson Merrill win the Rookie of the Year. I just don't think it's going to happen if Paul Skeens continues to pitch like this. Listen to what he has done this year so far. He has a 6-1 records or whatever, but it helps. 1.9 ERA in 13 games, 103 strikeouts, 80 and 2/3 innings pitched, and a 0.9 WHIP. He has a 3.5 WAR.
Yeah, I think what tells the story is to have a 3.5 WAR in 13 starts means you've basically been the most dominant pitcher in baseball other than Dylan Cease, potentially. Because if you made 30 starts, the 3.5 WAR is an 8.5 WAR pitcher. And that's in uncharted territory, and that's how dominant he's been. Now, Jackson Merrill has put together an unbelievable all-around year, the best position player in the National League that's a rookie. There's no question about it. And he's defied odds, and he's overcome all kinds of things to get to this spot. But it's hard to look past the former first-round pick, all the marketability of Skeens, the national attention he draws, and, oh, by the way, he's backed it up with those numbers. So maybe Skeens gets shut down because the Pirates don't play well, and it opens the door. Maybe Skeens isn't healthy, or he's shut down because they want to have an innings limit on him, and maybe that opens the door. But the way I think we both see it right now is it's going to take something absurd or something unlikely to occur for Jackson Merrill to win National League Rookie of the Year.
And it's not like it's just between those two guys either. The list here is a pretty damn good list. Mason Wynn, he's having a good season for the Cardinals. He's hitting 281. He's got a 3.6 WAR, and it's OPS plus, not great, 107. Okay. The OPS for the year is 743. Jackson Merrill's better, but it's not just like it's those two guys and it's a runaway. Imanaga's been good as well. Yeah. Jackson Merrill's been fantastic for this team. No doubt about it. Paul Skeens has been amazing as well. This is, if you're looking, like you said, if you're looking at this objectively and not through the rose-colored glasses, which Look,
Yeah, which is fine.
Which is fine.
Yeah, I have. It's not taking. That's where it's hard. It's like just because Simone Biles exists doesn't mean that the other Olympians and the gymnasts on Team USA aren't unbelievable.
Yeah, Suni
Suni Lee,
Lee is amazing.
who won a bronze and has won a gold before, is an incredible gymnast. It takes nothing away from her ability that there happens to be the greatest of all time on her team. And Paul Skeens, I don't know what he's going to be in 5 years, but I do know this. Right now, he's doing things that very few have done. What Jackson Merrill has done is just put together a great year.
Yeah.
And he's, again, defied odds, and he's 21 years of age. And to do it as a rookie in the Padres, when no rookie in the Padres does that, makes it even more impressive, especially locally. But again, all things being equal, you have to recognize what Paul Skeens has done this year. And now maybe they face Skeens coming up here in a couple of weeks, or maybe they fare well against Paul Skeens. And maybe Jackson Merrill has big hits against him. I don't know if that changes anything, though.
If it was anybody else, like if Paul Skeens did not exist,
yeah,
and they still had this stupid power ranking that came out that people are getting fake upset about because Jackson Merrill is not ranked number 1, then we might have some like, what's going on here, guys? Are you serious? Are you not watching? But this, to me, is a situation where Jackson Merrill, unfortunately, is a rookie in the year that Paul Skeens is a rookie. You know,
that's exactly right.
It's just that's how it is. It's like the year that LeBron came into the league. Guess what? Melo was a rookie that year too. Dwayne Wade was a rookie that year too. You know, those guys are both Hall of Famers. But because they had LeBron, they didn't win Rookie of the Year.
The argument that players have been blocked from winning championships by players like Michael Jordan, if not for Michael. But again, you can't play that game. It doesn't. I mean, does it diminish other players? Maybe sometimes it does. Someone like Michael Jordan has probably diminished other players in his era because of his greatness. At the end of the day, let's be honest here. Are we concerned about Jackson Merrill winning Rookie of the Year, or are we concerned about Jackson Merrill having a long and productive career here and leading to a lot of winning here?
We're worried about the second.
You know what I mean? So it's all nice. Everyone likes awards. Everyone wants all-stars. Everyone gets up in arms about lists. I didn't like the ESPN top 100 athletes of the 21st century. I don't like comparing Carmelo Anthony to a cricket player. I think it's weird. But people get up in arms about it. So that's the same thing here. Like, people are going to get upset about it. I think Skeens has probably gotten too much attention. I think Livy Dunn plays a role. I think him being, again, the first overall. You know, he's got a lot of national attention, which is rare in baseball. And I feel like maybe Merrill's been overlooked to some extent. But that doesn't take away from what Skeens has done.
Absolutely not. And at the end of the year, Jackson Merrill is going to get a lot of votes in Rookie of the Year.
He probably will, and he'll likely finish second.
And that's nothing against Jackson Merrill, and it's not a rigged system. It's not. No one should be upset about it. And if you are, then you're just, and especially in media, you're just a complete homer. But like looking at this at an objective lens, they're both great. Why are we upset about this? They're both great. Paul Skeens, unfortunately for Jackson Merrill, is doing things at a rookie level that for a pitcher that you just haven't seen in a long time.
Like, I almost do wonder. Remember when he had the June stretch where I'm talking about Merrill? You know, all the home
rookie
runs.
of the month.
Rookie,
Yeah.
I mean, the numbers are crazy. OPS near 1,000
Right.
for like a month-long stretch. You know, I wonder, could he put pressure on to make it an actual like coin flip of a award? I don't even know if that's possible. Like, if Jackson Merrill hit 30 home runs this year, which would be crazy, he'd hit 17 from here on out. If he lifted his OPS into the 800s, which is hard, it's at 768. If his, you know, like, what would it take for Merrill to win this award if Skeens is going to have a 2 ERA? What, like, is it even possible for Merrill to win this award if Paul Skeens is going to have a 2 ERA? I would probably say it's not possible.
The only way it's possible is if they shut down Paul Skeens at like the start of September, and Jackson Merrill has some big time moments in September in the stretch run.
Yeah, that's true.
To help get the Padres to the postseason. Then I think that's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
If Skeens pitches all the way to the middle of September, he pitches, you say he has 140 innings. I don't know if that's
something like that.
130, 140, 135, whatever the case may be. And say he's 10-2 with a 2.1 ERA. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, no matter what he does.
No matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like what we were saying actually to bring it home to what we said earlier this week about Padres-Dodgers. You can't worry about the Dodgers because you could even play some great baseball like you're playing right now. If LA happens to turn it on, you can't prevent that from happening. You play them 3 more times this year. You can't stop them from winning. All you can control is your winning. If the Padres play 50 baseball from here on out and it's not good enough, that's not your fault. You can't control if LA won the next 11 games or 1-10 over the next 11 games. You can control what you're capable of doing. If the Padres can get to the postseason winning the division or not, it goes back to this point. I just want to play good baseball, just like Jackson Merrill. Win the award or not, I just want him to have a long and productive career. Same thing with the Padres this year. Just be playing well, getting into the postseason.
If you told me right now, all right, what would you take? Would you take Jackson Merrill to win Rookie of the Year, where you have no idea how the rest of his career is going to pan out?
Right.
It's a crapshoot. Or would you take him to finish second, which is still amazing, in Rookie of the Year, and, I don't know, have like a decade plus career here with the Padres where he makes like 7 or 8, 5, all-star teams and
yeah, I'll take that.
I'll take that.
Yeah, every day of the week.
It's not even close. It's not even close. How many Rookie of the Years have just fizzled out in every sport?
There's been a lot of them.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
It's like you take the long career, you take the consistency, you take the multiple-time All-Star over winning this type of award. It would be great. Don't get me wrong. I would love for Jackson Merrill to win that award. But I'm not sitting here holding my breath or having high hopes that he's going to do it.
I agree.
It's more about going out there and playing like he is now consistently for a long time here in San Diego and getting better than an award.
Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. He will join us at 5:30 as the Padres and Rockies play game 1 of their 3-game series coming up at 6:40. We are at the Naughty Barrel. Come join us. Happy hour begins in 20 minutes at 4 p.m. We broadcast live until 6. We have Luke Bryan tickets for a sold-out show. We're giving them away in the 4 o'clock hour. We have the wrap coming up, plus another reason why Luis Ariz is not in the lineup tonight in game 1 of the series against the Colorado Rockies. That's next on Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it's Schaefer. Listen up. We have found paradise. It is Circa Las Vegas. We were there in July. We're going back in August. It is a sports lover's dream. It's spectacular. You need to see it to believe it. Largest sports book in Nevada and Stadium Swim. Incredible rooftop pools. They have 6 of them. Massive outdoor video boards with all sports all the time, including every single San Diego Padres game. Every Padres game is on at Stadium Swim on their video boards. It's open 365 days a year. And here's the other good news. Circa's 21 plus. You've got nothing to worry about other than sports. And speaking of which, they've got the biggest pro football contest in Las Vegas. They're back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million, now up to $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win, no rake. Circa Survivor contestants select 1 team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed. Quarterly and full season payouts. You can enter in Nevada, but play from anywhere, including right here in San Diego. Visit circasports.com. That's circasports.com for details.
continue live from Knotty Barrel with the faithful looking at the Padres-Rockies series and getting ready for the weekend. Now back to Jon and Jim.
All right, Kevin Acee, our Padres Insider at 5:30. Knotty Barrel, like you just heard, until 6 p.m. on this beautiful Friday. Rockies, Padres coming up at 6:40. Jim, are we going to do what I'm about to do? Are we doing this? It's now August. So can I let people know that the Cardinals lost to the Cubs this afternoon at Wrigley?
Yeah.
And can I let people know that the D-backs lead the Pirates 1-0 in the first?
Yeah.
Because it does matter. I mean, I feel like with less than 2 months to go, and when you're like in a race with teams a half game behind you and a half game in front of you, this is impactful. It's not 2-0 Diamondbacks, by the way, in the first inning. So, yeah, I mean, I think we should be scoreboard watching. It's August.
If I'm going to tell people to keep an eye on, or at least I'm going to keep an eye on what the Dodgers are doing, you absolutely have to also keep an eye on, probably even more close of an eye on what the Diamondbacks are doing, what the Mets are doing, what the Cardinals are doing, maybe what the Giants are doing. I don't really know.
I'm with you. I mean,
what the Pirates are doing, like
outside shot.
You're under 60 games here. I mean, this is the home stretch, and this thing is going to go by quick. Middle of August is going to happen like tomorrow, and you're either going to be in the same spot you are now with this bunched up, or you could, by playing good baseball here in the next 15 games, create a little bit of separation.
Right, because as we sit here today,
unless the Cardinals also, or not the Cardinals, unless the Diamondbacks also play great baseball and the Mets also play great baseball.
But that's not going to happen. No, I just know how this works, and it's
and the Braves.
You got like a 1 in 1,000 of the 4 teams that are all around you, all playing great like you. If you play great, that should be enough because someone's going to drop off. But as we sit here right now, the Padres are a half game up in the last wild card and 1 game out of being out. They're 1 game up on being out.
But aren't they also – what's up, man? Aren't they also like a game behind the 4
And they're
seed?
1 game behind Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, right, a game behind Atlanta, a half game in front of Arizona, 1 game in front of the New York Mets. It should be fascinating. Last 52 games for the Padres, who come in again 59 and 51. We mentioned earlier, Luis Arraez is not in the lineup. Now, this shouldn't be overly surprising. They've got a lot of good offensive weapons. Arraez hasn't played every single time against left-handed pitching. And Luis Arraez, it's a small sample size, but if there's any, this might be a reason. Against Austin Gomber, a guy that hits 300 in his career, Luis Arraez is 0 for 5 lifetime against Austin Gomber. Padres, who told you, do not have good lifetime numbers against this left-handed pitcher. In fact, someone like Manny Machado is hitting 185 and 27 at-bats in his career
what the hell
against
is it about Austin
Gomber. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Now, Cronenworth has hit him.
Twice in the lineup.
Cronenworth has hit 276 against Austin Gomber and 29 ABs. But again, I think if you take the dive, you say, well, Arraez is 0 for 5, and Solano has been really good against left-handed pitching, so why not start him in a game like this? I think it makes sense.
If you have a guy on the mound that pitches very well against the majority of your lineup, you're kind of just hoping that, the guy,
figure it
out type of thing, with a little bit of tweaks here and there in your lineup to see if you can get an advantage somewhere. And that's why Arraez is out and Solano's in, a guy that hits lefties very well.
Yep.
And a guy that has over a 300 average versus lefties. So you kind of just move some things around. Profar's leading off tonight, correct?
He is.
Yeah. So I hope that the Austin Gomber experience doesn't continue against the Padres, where he literally pitches like Sandy Koufax.
He's got 2 wins. We always know wins aren't the greatest indicator. He's 2-7. He's got a 4.80 ERA. You're right. I mean, this isn't the night you need to see him going 6 innings. 1 hit. Here's the lineup. Profar in left. Solano DH. Bogarts has been red hot, second baseman. Machado cleans up at third. Cronenworth at first, bats 5th. Hassan Kim's the shortstop, hitting 6th. Jackson Merrill bats 7th in center. Kyle Higashioka is your catcher, batting 8th. Bryce Johnson, who has survived all the movement over the last couple of weeks, but the Padres keep winning. Bryce Johnson starts in right tonight for the Padres. When you win, you deal with it. When you score, you deal with it. And they've been winning. They've been scoring.
The first question I'm going to ask Kevin today.
Yeah.
What's the update on Tatis?
Yes.
It's I haven't heard any. We haven't heard anything. Hasn't been reported on.
Yep.
Last time we heard anything was like, oh, yeah, he's feeling good. He's throwing the baseball. He's doing a little baseball activity. He's swinging the bat. But is this now going to – we've heard more about Joe than we've heard about Tatis. Are we going to see Joe before we see Tatis return? That would be shocking to me.
Will we see Joe before Tatis? Well, at least Joe has begun the process of getting back to the big leagues because he's thrown a sim game. Next up would be a rehab. Tatis hasn't gotten there as of yet, although position players take less time.
Right.
So it'll be – I mean, I think with Musgrove, they're targeting August. How could it not be August? You're throwing a sim game. It's not going to take a month, barring a setback.
Right. And I don't know if they're targeting August for Tatis as well, or is it past that? Are we now pushing this thing into September?
Now, and again, of course you need him over Bryce Johnson.
100%.
But you need him right now. You need him, but you
well, they're winning,
need him.
And that's the great thing is you're winning without one of your best offensive pieces, and so it doesn't make it as bad. Like you're winning, and Tatis is out of the lineup, and so by that, whole scenario there and equation, you're not really saying, man, we need Tatis back badly. Because you're overcoming that.
Yeah. If they were 2-9 since the All-Star break,
then you might be saying,
and had fallen 6 games out,
and if their offense has been struggling,
oh my gosh, you'd be like, it's hanging. Their chance hinges on his return. That's what we'd be saying.
But it doesn't feel like that right now.
No, it really doesn't. No. And you see it on social media. I see it on the text line 70470. Start it with team. People honestly do believe that despite the productivity of Fernando Tatis Jr., he doesn't help you win. Now, I don't believe in that assessment. There are people that believe, he didn't play in 2022. It was our best year of the decade. Oh, interesting. His healthiest year was the most underperforming team ever in 2023, and he goes out in 2024 and we take off and go 22-11. Now, I think it's a coincidence. I think he's a very productive player that helps you win games. But there are people that truly believe, I'm convinced of this, that Fernando Tatis Jr. doesn't help you win. I see it on social media.
I don't think that.
I don't think it either. I think it's ridiculous.
It is. I think if you look at 2021, that team's pitching was
horrendous,
decimated, and it was horrible down the stretch. He put together a top 3 MVP season offensively, and he was playing with one arm. 2023, yeah, you want to give him crap for that. You want to blame him something. You want to blame a little bit of him for, not 2023,
2023, he was part of a group that underperformed, and he underperformed coming off injury.
Not all on him, but he did not perform up to the level that we know Tatis is capable of. In 2022, they made the NLCS without him. 2020, the fake postseason. 2019, he was a rookie, broke his back. I think that narrative it's kind of lame. And I don't buy it at all. It just doesn't.
Like you don't control if.
Oh, you don't want one of the best hitters in baseball at his peak in the lineup. Like, what are we doing?
If Jackson Merrill's on the Rockies and the Rockies still suck, it's not an indicator on Merrill that man, he's not a winner. Mike Trout's a good example in his prime. I mean, give me a break. Trout's not a winner because he was surrounded by nothing.
He's a great player on a.
He's not a great player because you can't say it's Trout's responsibility. Trout wasn't the reason why they're going 70 and 92.
Yeah, they built a horrible team around him.
Exactly. Ohtani,
and we know
they built a horrible team around him.
And we know in baseball, it's not about one player.
Never.
But when you put a good player on a good team, that only helps that team win.
That's right.
That's just the equation equals that.
Yeah.
It does not equal. This guy ends up making us worse, even though we're a good team.
I'm with you.
It doesn't make any sense at all. And you put Tatis back out there with an 840 OPS or whatever he has this season
over the guy with the 500 OPS.
How is that going to hurt you?
It should only help you.
Exactly.
I mean, it's as simple as that. It should only help you. All right. On the other side, we will get to the wrap. In the 4:00 hour, we have a pair of tickets to the sold-out Luke Bryan show at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater on August 8th. That's coming up in just days. We'll give those tickets away to a sold-out show in the 4:00 hour. Plus, Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. He'll join us at 5:30. We're at the Naughty Barrel downtown, 9th and Market. Happy hour starts now. Kick off your weekend here. Hour 2, Jon and Jim. It comes your way next.
All right, this update is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Padres start a 3-game series tonight with the Colorado Rockies. 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres against Austin Gomber for the Rockies. And an Olympic update in golf, Xander Schauffele. He is tied at 11 under for the lead, along with Tommy Fleetwood and Hideki Matsuyama after day 2. Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Time to head back out with the Friar Fanatics as we get ready for tonight's game at Petco versus the Rockies. Of course, we're still taking a look back at that sweep of the Dodgers. Yeah, that was nice. We're live from Naughty Barrel, 844 Market Street to kick off the weekend with the people. Now, it's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Hour 2, Jon and Jim. Kevin Acee will join us at 5:30 in about 90 minutes. We're at the Naughty Barrel, as you just heard. A great spot downtown at 9th and Market. We are blocks from Petco Park. Happy hour is going on now. They've got the best barbecue in San Diego. They've got amazing food and drinks. So if you're looking for the spot to kick off your weekend, whether you have tickets tonight or not, get here. We're here until 6. Padres-Rockies will get underway at 6:40. Now, Jim's got a jettison.
I
That
do.
means leave.
Yes.
Now, okay, I need to know. I'm going to ask you this on air. Are you out on the wrap-up show tonight? It's fine. I just need to know. You can be.
So,
what do you want to do?
well, here's the thing. Her brother and his friend get into town.
Tonight.
Tonight. They were supposed to arrive at 6:30. Their flight got delayed. They're not going to be here until 9.
Where are they coming from?
They're coming from Philadelphia.
Okay, so they're traveling across the country
Yeah.
to be here with your dog Bentley while you are away. While you and Aaron are away,
Yeah.
her brother and friend will watch the dog and be in San
Yeah,
Diego.
it was actually infinitely more cheaper.
Bentlly don't get to go to Switzerland. What's up with
No.
that?
Well, that's
No.
a joke.
What?
Bentley's not
He's like,
coming along.
are you serious?
Yeah, it's a joke.
I thought you guys loved your dog.
Yeah, seriously, man.
Yeah, it was. We do. We love him more than anything.
That's
Just-
why you're leaving him. You don't. He doesn't need to go to Switzerland. He's fine.
That would be a disaster.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be a disaster, and Italy as well. It'd be just horrible.
Right.
I don't even think you're. Are you even allowed to like bring
Who
your
the
dog
hell
to Europe?
knows?
Like,
I'm sure it
it's-
depends on the country and all the
Yeah,
all
it's
kinds of
a
things.
lot.
Yep.
But it's infinitely more cheaper to have her brother come here and watch Bentley than it was to either have him be
Yeah, it makes
watched
sense.
by someone
Kennel.
else.
Well,
Yeah.
she doesn't do kennel, right?
Oh God, no,
Okay.
no. And it's actually it sucks because one of our other good friends that we used to be roommates with, she's like, I could have watched Bentley, and we're like, oh. No, because we flew
Yeah,
out.
after all this,
Yeah, we flew out
she
her
could've just
brother.
watched the
and
dog.
She could have just
Yeah.
watched Bentley this whole time, but we didn't know that, and it was just
You're
a-
asking a good
yeah.
amount of someone
It's
to
a
watch
lot.
a dog for like 9 days.
But now she used to be our roommate. She loves Bentley.
Yeah.
She lived with she
All right.
lived with Bentley for forever. But still, we didn't want to ask her because we didn't know.
Inconvenience
It conf-
someone.
Yeah, it's like a long time.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
Anyway, he gets in at 9. So that's the thing. I don't know about the wrap-up show. I mean, I guess I could
think
do
you're
it.
a no. I mean, well, you'll let me know.
I guess I could do it.
Wrap up show tonight.
Yes.
Following game 1, Padres-Rockies. Jim then on his way for
If they win, I'll join you. If
Oh,
they,
here we go.
if they
Exactly.
win,
This
I'm on
is
the
Jim.
wrap-up
This
show.
is Jim.
If they lose,
Yeah, exactly.
Good
I'm
luck.
on vacation.
I'm on
Welcome
vacation.
to Life with Jim.
Yeah.
You're going on your honeymoon tomorrow.
honeymoon-ish.
Honeymoon, go to a wedding, you go to Switzerland, you're going to Italy.
Dude.
Your mind is going to be blown. You haven't been anywhere.
No.
I feel like you're kind of like, what's the movie, Brent, where the dude lives like in a tent his whole life and then
The
he gets
Bubble?
out of the tent, or the bubble?
Bubble Boy?
Bubble
no,
Boy?
No. You know what I'm talking about. He's like on
Tent?
TV his whole life and he's in a
Truman Show?
thank you.
Okay. Jim Carrey?
Yeah, I feel like that's
I like how John equated like the entire dome and how they lived. He lived in a tent?
He was in a tent.
whatever.
Right.
But my point is, now Brent hasn't been to Europe. Have you, Brent?
No.
Okay, so have you left the country, either of you?
I went to Cabo.
No.
Okay, Brent hasn't left the country, but Jim's been to Mexico.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be like,
Yeah, but
you're not in Switzerland every day. Most people aren't in Switzerland every single
No.
day. This is going to be mind-blowing stuff is my point.
This isn't like hey, you want to go to Switzerland? And like this was like
Yeah.
planned a month ago.
Sure. I'll go this weekend.
No, this was something that has been in the works for a long time.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to Temecula.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're gonna go to Vegas. We can book a flight for Vegas today for tomorrow. You can't book a flight, I feel like, to Europe and have all of the stuff like the where you stay, the activities you're gonna do, all that stuff. It's one of those things where you have to literally plan it out for a couple months, dude.
Is there one thing? I know you're going to a wedding, but forget the wedding for a second. Is there something other than the wedding you're going to that you're most looking forward to doing or seeing or experiencing?
Yes.
That was it. All right.
Yes. It is. I forget what it's called, but it's on Lake Como, and this is going to happen next Saturday because that's our only like free day in Italy. Going to the villa on Lake Como where they filmed Star Wars Episode 1 or Episode 2, excuse me.
All ties back to Star Wars.
It's like a famous villa. I forget what it's called, but it's on the water. It's gorgeous. They filmed there for Episode 2, and we're gonna go there.
That's cool.
On Saturday.
That's very cool. All right.
Yeah.
So that's
something I'm looking forward to, and it's ironically the last day of the trip. And
send Brent like a video.
I'm already, dude. You know me. I already Googled it. Let's see my Italian Villa Babilolinio.
You're close as me.
That's it.
I got the villa part right.
Yeah. But that's the one of the most famous places like on Lake Como.
Gotcha.
And it's mostly known because of
that's where
Star Wars.
That's where Anakin and Padme got married.
Yeah.
And also where your friends are getting married. What are the odds? Both
what are
Anakin
the odds?
Skywalker and your friend.
Is your friend going to lead to the destruction of the universe, Jim?
It might actually, to be honest with you.
All right, we have Luke Bryan tickets. We'll give them away this hour. Coming up at 5:30, our Padres insider Kevin Acee. We're at the Naughty Barrel right now. Let's get to this.
It's time for The Wrap, presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
So, what do you guys think of the new kickoff rule?
So we saw it.
I'm interested, I'm intrigued by it. It's interesting to me. I don't know. I gotta see it a little bit more. It's very weird. You know what it feels like to me? It feels very XFL-y, USFL, AAF type of feel. It doesn't feel like an NFL game. It's like they're wearing the NFL jerseys, but how they're set up, it feels very gimmicky
and foreign to me. Like Colin had an interesting take, I thought, today on San Diego Sports 760, which was, hey, it took a while to get used to the 3-point line too. But I'm like, no, hold on. It's still within a basketball court and flow. There were long shots even before the 3-point shot. There were good jump shooters. So that you just taped off what was 2 points and what was 3 points. That to me is a lot more inherent to the game of basketball than this new kickoff rule. Now, I might like it. I need to see it. It may work, and maybe it does lead to action, excitement, multiple kickoff returns in a football game. Maybe it changes the sport to some extent. But right now, I'm going to have to be won over by it because to me, it seems like a bit of like they went a little too far with this rule.
And I don't have the number in front of me. If last year there were, say, 2 kickoffs returned for touchdowns,
something like that, truthfully.
It's in the single digits, I think.
I saw this morning that last year's like between 73 and 76% of kickoffs were touchbacks. Yeah.
So now that was kind of eliminated by this landing zone.
But if there were, say, 2 last year returned for touchdowns,
there's going to be like 20.
And if there's this year 20 to 30,
I think so, right?
Then you're right. That absolutely changes the game from a strategy standpoint, from a coaching standpoint. Like, that would be a massive jump. And I don't know yet, but it just feels like watching it. I'm like, dude, there are going to be a lot of kickoff returns for touchdowns.
I'm going to make a guarantee. Week 1 in the NFL, someone is going to have a kick return touchdown in that format that will change a game. The first week of the season, there is absolutely going to be a kick return touchdown in the NFL. I guarantee it.
Because usually when I'm watching a game, like I'm watching Niners game, I kind of like,
who cares?
I kind of take a breath, like I exhale during the kickoff.
Use the restroom, grab some water.
Now I'm like, do I have to really watch and pay attention to this?
I think so. Which again is probably good for the NFL and
Yeah.
will take a little while to get used to. Next question.
Are you guys worried about U.S. soccer ahead of the 2026 World Cup?
100% U.S. soccer feels like it's in shambles right now.
And right in front of the
Hasn't
World Cup,
always
years
been?
away.
And Olympic team did not play well. You have a new coach here. Like,
What was it? What was it this summer? The was it a Gold Cup or the event that they took part in this summer? They played terribly, and it was on U.S. soil.
yeah, the U.S. soccer to
Yeah.
me has fallen off a cliff. It feels like, and they lose to Morocco.
And the World Cup's gonna be here in less than 2 years. You didn't lose to Morocco. They did.
You got your ass kicked.
You can't lose 4-0. I mean, I know it's like an under 23, and it's not the same as these other world tournaments. I understand it, and I'm not to say that the U.S. has to win the Olympic tournament. I understand that's a challenge, but to lose 4-0 seems a bit extreme. Okay, it's one match, but I just doesn't feel like they have all the momentum in the world. You're going to host the World Cup, and I don't know what the expectation is. I don't know what's even possible because they're not playing well on the international level. Clearly. Next question.
Will Xander Schauffele win a medal?
He's in prime position to.
He's 2 strokes up on a medal. John Rahm's 2 strokes back. You've mentioned the 3 leaders today. They're tied for a gold right now. What happens there? I think they do give out multiple golds. I think if you have 2 at 11 under, 2 at 10 under, I don't know what happens there. I think if 2 at 11 under, 2 at 10 under is 2 golds, 2 bronzes. I think is what it is.
They don't go to a playoff.
I don't know.
Okay.
Because in other sports, they have multiple medals.
They do? Multiple golds?
Yes, and
Yeah,
some
like
they
in
do.
swimming,
Yeah,
I saw if they had the exact same time, it's like 2 bronzes.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know the Olympic golf rules because it's happened 2 times.
I don't know, dude. That's a good question. I would assume
I'm Googling.
they would do a playoff because that just
Sudden
makes,
death playoff.
that just makes sense. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Why would you be like, oh, I'm going to play for the tie here? Like if that
would be weird. Yeah.
Like you're on the 18th and
You look at
you just play for the tie to get a gold.
yeah, sudden death.
sudden death.
Okay. Yeah. So his chances are very good. He put himself in prime position to go on the weekend, play some good golf. This field is a legit field. I mean, if you were saying this is like a major field for all the players that are in it, which is awesome to watch. So, yeah, he's put himself in prime position.
Interesting. Unique to golf with the Olympics, not only must ties be broken for a winner, but if necessary to determine the silver and or bronze.
Yeah.
So you could have a third place sudden death who
Yeah.
gets the bronze medal,
Yeah.
which you would never get in a major or a tournament because you don't do it for third place or second place.
Yeah. Makes
So
sense.
anyway,
Makes sense.
yeah, I think Xander is meddling. I think he's playing the best golf in the world based on what we've seen here over the last 2 months, PGA Championship, Open Championship, and now in Paris. He's playing brilliant golf. I think he will medal. Next question.
Are you worried about Michael King?
Just his health.
I mean, a little bit, but not overly concerned. I'm a little concerned, but not crazy. Like, oh my God, this is a big problem now. I mean, we already knew that this season was going to be a season where he was going to pitch the most innings in his entire career. We didn't know how many innings he would pitch, though. And right now, he's on pace for a substantial increase in innings.
Yeah.
And you're thinking to yourself,
True.
are you going to give him maybe a couple like extra days here?
Or like skip a turn entirely?
Because if you didn't skip a turn, you're looking at around 200 innings for a guy that pitched 100 innings last year.
Right.
That's a big ass increase. I know he talked about it, how he wanted to be in the 180 inning mark this season. We kind of both looked at each other saying,
Like, wow, that's a lot, man.
I would be cool with like 165 to 175 if you're asking me, especially if you make the postseason. You're going to be relied on heavily.
Yep.
And if you pitch 197 innings in the regular season, are you going to be at your best in the postseason or not? So I'm actually okay with it if they skip his start here, to be honest with you, because they have enough pitching. It's just how are they going to deploy it? So with that, I'm not overly concerned. I'm a little, but not overly concerned. It's his leg. It's on his arm, which
Right.
would have been a bigger problem.
Yeah, he was hit by a line drive. It's a comebacker. That is nowhere near the same impact as something that occurs as a pitcher that would occur in the upper half, right? So I'm with you. I mean, the only concern is he's pitching beautifully, and hopefully it doesn't take him like down a different path. But I don't have any long-term concern, and I would do what makes the most sense for his long-term. And if that means skipping a turn in the rotation, then I'm skipping a turn
Yep.
in the rotation. We'll give away Luke Bryan tickets on the other side of this break. So we'll do that coming up in the next 10 minutes. We have Luke Bryan tickets, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, August 8th. Just be listening. We'll tell you when to call. Do not call now. We will give away Luke Bryan tickets. Kevin Acee joins us at 5:30. We continue to get you ready for tonight. Padres and Rockies from inside Petco Park. We're at Naughty Barrel. Stay with us. And this Olympic update, as we always do during the Olympics, is, as you know, iHeartRadio's the exclusive audio home of the NBC 2024 Paris Olympics. This NBC Olympic Report is brought to you by Islands Restaurants, your local paradise.
Padres-Rockies at Petco tonight. And we're looking for the most fired up Friar fanatics out at Naughty Barrel, 844 Market Street. Now back to Jon and Jim.
All right, get here. We're here until 6 p.m. Padres and Rockies playing game 1 of a series coming up tonight at 6:40 inside Petco Park. We're at the Naughty Barrel 9th and Market. Great food and drinks, the best barbecue in San Diego. Make sure to swing by, say hello. We'll be here until 6 p.m. We're giving away Luke Bryan tickets. We'll give them away, let's say, in about 5 minutes. Be listening. We'll let you know how to win Luke Bryan tickets. Sold-out show coming up August 8th, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll get back to the Padres in 1 second. Jim, I just want to say it was good to connect with Marquez Cooper yesterday of San Diego State. The reason I say it is we mentioned it briefly yesterday. He's the nation's active leading rusher. And that kind of is an amazing story. I mean, San Diego State's had the Pennies and the Pumphreys in recent history. They've had the Falks going back. The running back lineage is unbelievable. And I feel like it hasn't gotten near the recognition. I don't know about locally, but certainly like nobody's picked up on this. The active leading rusher in America is at San Diego State. And then the question becomes how and why. Well, he had previously played for Sean Lewis. Now he's been reunited. That's a pretty cool story to me.
I'll tell you this. Once the season starts and fans and media see him out there, and if he performs and if he has, good start to his season, then we will definitely notice him.
Yeah.
And we will definitely talk about him, and he will definitely be talked about, and he'll be written about.
I agree.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you.
That's how I kind of view it as this team's a little bit of an unknown. Actually, a lot of bit of an unknown.
Still a month away, 4 weeks, whatever it is.
Like we know the names of the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
We know a couple skill guys. And a couple guys on defense. Obviously know the coach and the coaching staff. But overall, the team's a pretty big unknown, even to this fan base right now. We don't know what to see or what expect to see come the start of the season.
100%. By the way, we're going to broadcast, not Jim, but we're going to broadcast from FanFest Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium. Jim will be in or at Lake Como in Italy. If you'd like to call in or just set up the equipment from Lake Como from the Star Wars location.
I'm going to take the equipment
Yeah, we're going to take that box.
And I'm going to do a broadcast live on Lake Como next Saturday.
Okay. Yeah,
cool.
I like that.
Yeah,
Tell Aaron.
I'll just dial in. We'll be good.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
It's great.
You
I'm
don't
sure
need
she'll
to
be fine
test
with
it.
it.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll work. No problems. And get on the plane. That's great. Yeah.
Remember
Easy.
earlier we said
Just don't tell her. Just walk around with your headset on and act like it's completely normal.
Right. Yeah. Hey,
It's my
I'm
new
gonna do a hit
Bluetooth.
here in a couple minutes here, Aaron. It'll be great.
Remember earlier we said Austin Gomber's got a 3.09 career against the Padres?
Yeah, I remember that.
Want to guess what he's done this year against the Padres?
Even better.
What's he done?
I think he's had a couple starts. I'm going to say he has 2 starts against the Padres, and he's allowed 1 earned run.
1 run, 2 starts, 11 innings.
And I didn't even look.
And how about this? Vasquez, coming off his worst outing of the year, right? Allowed those 6 runs. Vasquez this year against the Rockies has allowed 9 runs in 6 1/3 innings.
Whoa.
I'm just telling people, I'm laying it all out there. This is where we started the show. Like, before we just coronation this series, it's going to be a sweep. It's easy. It's 10-0 every night. I hope they win this series. I hope they sweep this series. The way they're playing, they're capable of doing it. There's just some things in here where, like, you got to be good to get to Gomber because they haven't done it previously. Yep. And Vasquez hasn't been at his best against the Colorado Rockies. Plus, there's that natural hangover effect off a series against the LA Dodgers that you swept. Be ready here tonight if you're the Padres, or all of a sudden you lose this game. How do they lose this game? I told you how they would lose it.
Oh, this show is definitely cautious. Like we are like, okay, guys, that's not take this team very seriously here. Please don't go into this series and just think you can take 2 or 3 or sweep them just because you're playing the better baseball and you have the better record. Because clearly every time you've played the Rockies, you haven't proven that. You haven't been the team that has the better record or has been playing the better baseball of late or has the infinitely better roster than the Rockies. Like, you've played below your opponent. It's just a fact. So put up a couple runs early, because if you get to like the 3rd inning or the 4th inning and you've had 1 hit and you're still scoreless against the Rockies and Austin Gomber, it's gonna feel like same old here. is Austin Gomber really going to shove against the Padres again?
100%. All right, caller 7. You have 2 free tickets to a sold-out Luke Bryan show at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater August 8th. 877-767-4760. All you have to be is caller 7, and they are yours. 877-767-4760. 2 free tickets to a sold-out Luke Bryan show at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater August 8th. 877-767-4760. Your texts are next. 70470. Start it with the word team. 70470. Start it with the word team. Kevin Acee at 5:30. It's Jon and Jim.
This update is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Padres-Rockies 3-game series starts tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres against Austin Gomber of the Rockies. Austin Gomber has pitched very well against the Padres this year. Two starts, only giving up 1 earned run. And looking at the Olympics in golf, Xander Schauffele is tied at 11 under par for the lead with Tommy Fleetwood and Hideki Matsuyama after day 2. Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 Battery Destination, get in the zone, Auto Zone.
We continue live from Naughty Barrel with the faithful looking at the Padres-Rockies series and getting ready for the weekend. Now back to Jon and Jim.
All right, with you until 6 p.m. Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. He will join us at 5:30. The latest on Michael King, Fernando Tatis Jr., and this weekend series against the Rockies. Join us at the Naughty Barrel 9th and Market. We're here until 6. Happy hour is underway, so come by, say hello. We'll be here until 6 p.m. We can get your text if you'd like. 770, start it with the word team.
484 says, how come every time the Rockies come to town, the Padres turn into blank and get humbled real quickly? Well, your guess is as good as mine.
I thought that said into the cookies, but it doesn't say the cookies.
No, it does not say the cookies. That's one of the big
mysteries in sports.
Like the Padres play extremely well against the best teams in baseball, and for whatever reason, they played down to their competition when they play the bad teams.
But didn't we play this game before? Like, weren't they good against the Rockies in 2023?
They were. You're right.
And it made no sense. They weren't good, but they were good against the Rockies.
But they weren't good against the Dodgers.
They weren't good against the bad
They weren't really
teams.
they weren't good against the bad teams. Now they were good against the Rockies, but I would bet, John, right now, if I look up the Padres, I know for a fact they're a better baseball team against teams with records over 500. They're one of the best teams against teams with over 500 in baseball.
You think they have a better record against teams that are over 500 than under 500 this year?
I think in all of baseball, they have one of the better records versus teams over 500.
No. That's not my question. Do you think they have a better record against teams over 500 or under 500? Don't look.
Do you have it?
No, but I'm looking it up.
I'm going to say they have a better record versus teams over 500 than they do versus teams under 500.
Yeah, I disagree. And I'm right. They're 32 and 31 against teams over 500, which means they're 7 games over 500 against teams under 500. That's a lot of 500. So they're 32 and 31 against good teams, quote unquote, but they're 7 games over 500 against bad teams.
See, I'm a little surprised by that.
Yeah, it's a little surprising. I mean, 32 and 31 is a darn good record against good teams. You know, like that's a very good mark. So, yeah, they've been. Yeah, I don't know. It's just Colorado this year. They're 2-5 against Colorado in general.
Yeah,
that's not good.
And versus the National League West, they're only 17 and 17 with their 7-3 record versus the Dodgers,
which means they are
10 and 14 versus the Rockies and the Giants
and the D-backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like there's something trap-worthy in here against Colorado, as we've been talking about.
A little bit.
Because the Rockies are 40 and 70, but they're 5-2 against the Padres. Back to the text line, 70470. Start it with the word team. 619 says the only reason why we're talking about the NL Rookie of the Year race, he says the only reason why Jackson should have the advantage is because he's playing a position he never played before. But I don't think that goes into consideration, really. I mean, if Jackson Merrill was a position player turned pitcher, okay, that's an amazing story. But he was a position player that moved positions, which happens all the time in baseball. I don't think that, like, if you're a voter, Jim, and you're between Skeens and Merrill, does any part of the equation have to do with Merrill moving positions prior to the season from short to the outfield or from left to center?
No.
I mean, maybe eensy-beensy, like 0.01% of it.
And here is how you can not settle the debate, but it would help Jackson Merrill, is if when they play the Pirates, Paul Skeens pitches one of those games, and Jackson Merrill has a good game against Paul Skeens.
I was thinking that, but would that even matter?
Probably not in the grand scheme of things, but
like if Merrill had a 2-homer game off Skeens,
yeah,
in a couple of weeks here in a 5-4 come from behind win,
I think it would mean more for Jackson to have a good game against Paul Skeens than Paul Skeens to have a good game against Jackson Merrill.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like if Paul Skeens goes out there, goes 6 shutout, strikes out 8 or 9, Jackson Merrill goes 0 for 4 with a couple strikeouts, I don't think people are going to be like, see, look, told you. But I do think if Jackson Merrill went like 2 for 4 with a home run and a double off Paul Skeens in that game, or 2 for 3 or whatever, how many at bats he has versus Paul Skeens, I do think that could be used for Jackson Merrill positively.
Yeah, I agree.
No, it's not going
Although
to
I
help
think
him a
it's
lot.
I was
but
going to say it's more of a San Diego story. It's like it's not the Heisman where like you've got this big elevated game,
Yeah.
and if you play well in it, it could vault you to like
it's
Heisman.
one
consideration.
of
One of
yeah.
162
Right.
in a game that's like not nationally televised on Padres.tv, and Bally Sports Pittsburgh isn't
Right.
exactly raising the profile of all viewers. So, again, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I understand why Paul Skeens would be considered the front runner. Like, it's definitely possible. I just see why Paul Skeens is the front runner.
I do too. And by no means does this mean we think that Jackson Merrill is not a good player or not
he's
having a
been
good year.
Great player.
He's been amazing this year for what he's been asked to do in his rookie year. 21 years old, All-Star game, coming up in clutch moments for this team. He is putting together a season that if you're AJ Preller in this front office, you feel like, okay, this guy's a cornerstone of our franchise for the next, hopefully, decade plus. But like I said, it's also tough when you are a rookie in the year of Paul Skeens as a rookie. It just is. And if Paul Skeens, and if your argument's, well, Paul Skeens only has pitched 13 games and yada, 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 I'm sorry, Paul, like
that's not normally part of the conversation or equation.
That's not how the conversation should go, because pitchers
don't pitch as often.
They don't pitch as often because that's the sport. And pitchers have won MVPs in seasons, and they don't play every day. And pitchers have won Rookie of the Years, and they don't pitch every day. So it's not like an isolated incident. This has happened over the sport forever.
And here's the thing. If you want to say, well, there should be a position player Rookie of the Year and a pitcher Rookie of the Year, okay. But then you'd have more people winning the award, and it almost waters it down.
Like, that's why you have the MVP and the Cy Young. But even then, a pitcher could win the MVP award as well.
Correct.
You have to have like an all-time season, but it has happened before.
Absolutely.
With Clayton Kershaw. And it's just, it's happened in the sport. So,
yeah. Now, do I think Paul Skeens is in the conversation for MVP? I don't.
No.
Like, that's where
neither is Jackson Merrill.
I know. Well, of course not. But Paul Skeens, again, has transcended. Does that put him then in the conversation? Well, if he's having such a great year, is he going to be MVP? No, he shouldn't be MVP. He's made 13 starts. Like, at some point, you've reached a threshold where, okay, great year, but let's be honest. I mean, come on, you can't make 19 starts and have a 2 ERA and win MVP. That's a little extreme.
And I'll back Jackson till the end of the day because of the great year that he's having, for sure. But I also am not going to sit here and just be a complete homer when Paul Skeens out there is pretty damn good. Like, I understand that he has only pitched 13 games, but in those 13 games, he's put together a 3.5 WAR. He has put together a 6-1, 1.9 ERA, 100 plus strikeouts, whip under 1. He's approaching 100 innings. It's
two things are true.
Yeah.
Skeens has been great. Merrill's been great.
Yeah.
Skeens, honestly, if you're going to be unbiased here, he's been at a higher overall threshold season than Merrill. That's just factual. Can it change? Yeah. But Merrill's had a great year. Padres aren't where they are without Jackson Merrill, and we shouldn't lose sleep over it. There's been too much
really don't be worried about it
Yeah.
at all. Just continue to be worried about, hey, is Jackson Merrill helping the Padres win?
I agree. No, I agree. All right. On the other side, this is kind of interesting. Skip Bayless has signed off for a final time on FS1.
Huh?
What is Skip Bayless's sports media legacy? We'll discuss that on the other side. Plus, Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. He will join us at 5:30. We're at the Naughty Barrel until 6 p.m. tonight. A beautiful day in downtown San Diego, just a couple hours in front of Padres and Rockies Game 1. Kevin Acee at 5:30. Stay with us on Jon and Jim.
Rockies at Petco tonight. And we're looking for the most fired up Friar fanatics out at Naughty Barrel, 844 Market Street. Now back to Jon and Jim.
All right, with you until 6 p.m. Great spot, Naughty Barrel, downtown San Diego, 9th and Market. Happy hour going on right now. Padres-Rockies game, one of a 3-game series at 6:40. Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. He will join us at 5:30. This did not get a lot of fanfare. Skip Bayless has signed off a final time at FS1. And it's hard to believe there's been so much interest over the 8 years of his show. Now, your boy is Nick Wright. Can I say that?
He's not my boy.
But all you do, though, is talk about Nick Wright. Will you admit that?
Here's the thing. I respect Nick because I think that he does have some good takes.
Okay.
My boy Nick. But I would say 80% of the things that he says sometimes is like you're creating a Skip Bayless type of personality that everybody now has and everybody now does on TV shows like that.
Well, let me ask you this, because Nick Wright today, as Skip Bayless signs off, says that if not for Bayless, this genre wouldn't exist. The talking head, who can be louder, who can be hotter of a take. I'm not saying it's good. I mean, that's the last thing I'm saying. But the truth is there's been a decade plus of ESPN, Fox, and other type of content that has existed with people making, by the way, tens of millions of dollars. Not a lot. People like Skip Bayless and others have made a lot of money doing it. If not for Skip, are we going down the same path or not?
It's a great question.
Like, he's kind of the trailblazer of this. It's a ridiculous path.
Well, it's not just him. It's him and Stephen A.
Stephen A. But I mean, he's played a role, a fair role in it, a large role in it.
The one thing that that Skip does I don't feel like Stephen A. does, or at least maybe I'm just blinded to it, I don't know, is you can hear the disdain in Skip's voice over certain athletes
automatically, no matter what happens.
LeBron,
yeah,
he has this vendetta and this visceral hate towards LeBron, where
he wins a title. It's like it's even worse.
It's made him lose his credibility years and years and years and years ago.
He's got no credibility,
zero, none. You have no credibility whatsoever.
Where Stephen A., you're right. He maintains credibility in some places. He can lose it occasionally. He can say some ridiculous things. We can get it back.
It's sad because Skip, who should probably be viewed as, like you said, a guy that's trailblazed the industry. Instead, he took it and he went the complete different direction to where now the disdain for him is through the roof, where nobody cares that he's gone now. And it's now celebrated.
It's like a celebration
that he's leaving because no one can take him or listen to him anymore.
I would say it's a shtick. Sometimes it's like you have a manager and the manager's messaging gets stale.
Yeah.
And that's my thing with Bayless. I don't think the perception on Bayless 10, 12 years ago at ESPN was like, oh my gosh, I can never deal with this guy. It's horrific. No, I mean, he parlayed it into a Fox gig, but it ran dry. I mean, it ran its course years ago. The fact that he got 8 years there is unbelievable. You would have thought it would have been 2 or 3, truthfully. But that's what I would say. It's a shtick. It's like if you can only throw fastballs. He was a one-trick pony. It was old. It's tired. The world's moved on. Media and content's very sophisticated. There's so much stuff out there. There's just no reason to tune into him for his angles and his takes.
I just looked through his Twitter, and it's so funny.
Okay.
So he has 3.2 million followers.
Which is amazing.
And he follows nobody. Seriously.
That's literally zero.
Besides his last tweet where he said that today was my last show, that has, that's obviously, I haven't looked at the replies.
He has likes because people wanted him out, probably.
Yeah, for sure. Here, for having 3.2 million followers, you would think you get more than 20 likes on a tweet, right?
He didn't have 20 likes on a tweet.
I'm looking at some of his tweets here, and he goes,
you're right, 27 likes.
In the players poll, Dak is ranked 5th among QBs. Is he top 5? Now an undisputed, 27 likes.
Wow. No, you're right. It's a great point. So you're getting no, whatever that is, interaction.
No interaction, no traction, nothing. I mean, we put out one Padres tweet, and he gets hundreds of likes.
Yeah, exactly. And this guy's doing it with 3 million viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's a great point.
His time is way past up. He overstayed his welcome. I'm not going to say ruined his career because he made millions and millions of dollars. And if you make millions of dollars, how can you say he had a bad career? But as far as how he will be remembered, he completely destroyed that. He's going to be remembered as not with like praise,
not
with,
the way Nick Wright just said it,
but with disdain.
Yeah, I agree. Like, people aren't going to remember him like he was a trailblazer for this genre.
Nick's like the only person that said that. I haven't seen one thing about.
But here's the other thing: this is a genre that no one really asked for.
It really is.
Now, we're in a world, and I enjoy this part of it, where everyone's got a voice, and it's pretty cool because you can get such like specialized content. You want stuff on the Padres, you can get it very easily in a number of places. You want stuff for the Cowboys? Again, 25 years ago, you're watching national shows to get stuff for the Cowboys. Now, there's a million places to go for content on the Padres, Cowboys, San Diego Wave, whatever you're looking for. I'm all. But this specific thing that he's done, this me versus you on television, 3 hours, where it's so produced out, you have to be on one side. And one person says he can't. That, to me, that whole genre is old and tired, and I don't feel like it's going anywhere.
And don't get me wrong, sometimes we fall into that trap for sure.
Yeah, but we know not really, because we don't ever. Tell me if I'm wrong. Have I ever told you, hey, say you want Dak to be the quarterback, and I'm going to say he sucks?
No, we've never
once done that. Yeah, that happens in television.
Oh, I know. Me and you have never once, when we were about to do a topic or whatever,
like, I like Merrill.
Like, hey, you take that side, I'll take this side, just to make a good conversation. Like, no,
sometimes we disagree, and sometimes we agree.
Yeah, I'd rather have a conversation, honestly, where we both agree sometimes than we both disagree.
100%. We tip on it. The funny thing is, we agree way more often than disagree. Let's say 9 out of 10 times we agree, and then, but you can't only agree and you can't only disagree.
Yeah, it's there's people that are really good at it, and there's people that aren't good at it. I think
probably good at it. He probably was good at times.
Like as far as Nick Wright's takes go, they're whatever. But I think that he puts a effort into it, the job, and he actually doesn't sound like a full-on blown moron like Skip Bayless does.
So Skip went further than anyone.
Yeah, like the other day, I saw, because Skip has this little podcast, whatever, on the side, which I'm sure he'll continue to do because he can't help himself. The entire thing was revolved around him saying that he thinks that Bronny has more of a quote clutch gene than his dad LeBron. And I'm like,
yeah, that's just.
I'm like, dude, I know that you have no credibility as it is, but
now you're just
digging that hole as deep as you possibly can for what can make you sound as dumb as possible? What take can make you sound dumber than the take that you had yesterday that make you sounded stupid?
Right. At worst, one of the 3 greatest players in the history of the sport is not as clutch as his son, who averaged 2 points a game last year at USC.
So, bye. No one will ever, I think, miss you. Sorry.
And while you're gone in Italy, he'll join me on Monday at 3:05.
Big get, John.
What do you think Skip Bayless' legacy is? Text us 70470. Started with the word team. 70470. Started with the word team. Back to why you should at least be on guard tonight as the Padres open a series against the Rockies. We'll share that with you. On the other side, Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, will join us. An update on Michael King's health. He was hit by a comebacker in his last start. An update on Fernando Tatis Jr., who's been out since before the All-Star game as well. With Kevin Acee coming up at 5:30. It's hour 3. We're at the Naughty Barrel downtown at 9th and Market. You got to join us. Beautiful late afternoon, 75 degrees. Padres-Rockies coming up at 6:40. It's hour 3 of Jon and Jim. It comes your way next.
All right, this update's brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Padres-Rockies start a 3-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Austin Gomber on the mound for the Rockies against Randy Vasquez for the Padres. And an update from the Olympics in golf. After day 2, Xander Schauffele is tied for the lead at 11 under par, along with Tommy Fleetwood and Hideki Matsuyama. Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Time to head back out with the Friar Fanatics as we get ready for tonight's game at Petco versus the Rockies. Of course, we're still taking a look back at that sweep of the Dodgers. Yeah, that was nice. We're live from Naughty Barrel, 844 Market Street to kick off the weekend with the people. Now, it's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Final hour of Jon and Jim. You got to get down to the Naughty Barrel. It's starting to fill up. Padres and Rockies kicking off a series in just over 90 minutes. We're here for the next hour. Happy hour is going on now. This is one of the great spots downtown. 9th and Market, 2 blocks from Petco. Some of the best barbecue in the city. So hopefully you can swing by, say hello, and whether you have tickets or not, they'll have the game on tonight, or you can head inside Petco Park coming up at 6:40.
Yeah, pretty cool thing here real quick. The Naughty Barrel has barbecue on the weekends, John.
Yeah.
Happy hour starts at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And right now, in the San Diego Best Readers Poll of 2024, they are nominated for Best Barbecue in San Diego. So go there right now to vote for the Naughty Barrel. And if you don't believe us, come on down, have some barbecue. You will definitely be impressed and be like, oh, yeah, that's right. They should be one of the best barbecue places in San Diego. Their smash burger here, John, I know you don't eat meat.
Smashing.
It's amazing. I love it. It's fantastic. Brisket on the burger, brioche bun. Perfect.
Come down. You'll thank us later.
You will.
Naughty Barrel, downtown.
Correct.
And Market.
Yes.
2 things. Oh, are you going to order the fried Twinkie?
Yeah, I was talking about that during the break. I think I'm
why
going to have to do it.
What's the negative?
There is no negative.
There's only positives,
There's
right?
only positives, yeah.
Because it's a fried Twinkie.
Right, yeah. I already had a burger today, some French fries, delicious, even though I spilled all over
The only
myself.
negative is you might have to share it with John.
Well, the only,
No, I probably won't. I won't. I don't eat sweets really.
He doesn't really like. Every time I get food,
I'm
Brent,
very
honestly,
measured with food.
I always say, "Hey, do you want some?" And he goes, "No, I'm good."
No, I never would eat anything.
Like, no, I'm good. Like, hey, you want a French fry? No,
I'll
I'm
have
good.
a fry or two.
Like, hey, you want a bite of this Twinkie? No, I'm good.
The thing is, I'm going to take people behind the curtain.
Oh, okay.
But nobody wants to be behind this curtain.
Okay.
Ever since I had what's going on, thank you. Ever since I had this like dental procedure,
You're scared.
I'm not supposed to work out for 2 weeks, so I'm not trying. I'm trying to eat healthy.
Yeah. John, you always
You're
been
going to come
like that.
back from Switzerland and he's going to be like 300 pounds.
Yeah, exactly,
John.
Because
John.
I haven't been. What do you mean? I've always been eating healthy, or I've always never worked out.
You always have looked like this.
That's fair.
And anytime I've offered you food, which has been previously before the 2 weeks that you got your mouth done, you've said the exact same thing to me.
That's true.
No, I'm good. No, I'm good.
Yeah,
no, I'm
that's
good.
a good point.
So no, don't come at me with like I'm trying to keep my figure a certain way because I can't work out.
Yeah, it's a lame excuse. I agree.
It is. Yeah.
Back to Padres-Rockies and why Padres fans should be on notice tonight, but in a moment. First, a couple of people on the text line commenting on Skip Bayless, 70470 started with team. Jon and Jim finding out today, this from the 760, that they have a stronger reach and impact than Skip the Tool Bayless. 703 saying Skip's relevancy came and went with Shannon Sharp. 760 saying, at least with Stephen A., some of it is comical and outlandish in a funny way. Bayless was always just annoying. And then this from the 484 that says Skip Bayless's legacy is disingenuous hot takes for hate-watching viewers.
That's a great text.
He birthed Stephen A. Smith's TV persona. The sports talk world will not miss him.
So I'm looking right now at his Twitter to see which tweet he has that's just completely irrelevant. Now, he gets a bunch of views because he has 3.2 million followers for some reason. But this tweet 3 days ago said, Mike Florio blast Jerry Jones. We debate now on Undisputed. It has 24 likes. It has 1 quote tweet. And it has 8 responses.
Like, that's hard. I could post a photo of a dog right now on like the stream. Be like, look, it's a dog dressed up as for the Padres game. Yeah, and it would get 24 likes. So that's hard to be that irrelevant with 3 million followers. Like that is truly hard to do. Jim's amazed by it.
I really am.
Yeah, it's amazing.
My like the other night, I posted a picture of objects in the mirror closer than they appear.
Right.
That's 1.9 thousand.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty funny.
Oh, dude, you know what?
Even Brent saw it.
Well, you wait a second.
Not on your
That
page.
got-
I
that
saw it
got-
on Facebook.
What?
That got 1,900 likes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm better than Skip
Holy,
Bayless.
how do we have security for you? This is unbelievable. How can you go anywhere in Switzerland? Everyone's going to recognize you.
Oh,
That's why
no.
we're sending him to Switzerland. It's too hot in the U.S. for him.
that's
He's got to
exactly
get out
right.
of here.
All right, Padres-Rockies coming up in an hour and a half. We have Austin Gomber for the Rockies, who's been very good against San Diego in his career, opposite Randy Vasquez, who will be pitching here tonight for the Padres. We say, well, Padres are red hot. They've won 9 of 11. They swept the Dodgers. What can go wrong? Oh, maybe you've never followed the Padres before.
Because when they play the Rockies this year, they don't look like the team we have seen the last month plus.
They're 2-5.
Got swept here in San Diego. That was the famous blow-up game from Schilt, if I'm not mistaken, to the media.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's right. Yeah.
That was the just look at our previous series. We've won 4 of the last 5 series or something along those lines. I even forget now because
it's been a while.
Because like we have said, when you win, nobody's going to care if Mike Schilt is cringy or not post-game.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were losing, we would remember those things more and more. Winning really does, honestly, at the end of the day, cure everything, John. It really does.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing else matters.
Like nothing else matters. You could be the biggest idiot, loser, douche on the team. If you're winning, like it doesn't matter. Fans don't care about that. They don't care about your views on politics. They don't care about anything else other or some, off the field or what you might say or do or wear. It doesn't matter. If you win, dude, that's it. Fans, that's all they care about. So
I agree.
You can Mike Schilt, he can be as positive, as cringy, as weird as he wants to be post-game. Whatever. They win, I don't care.
You can't fault the end result with Schilt. I mean, listen,
No, you
we've been
can't at
critical of
all.
Mike Schilt over the course of the year, but not for anything that's really happening on
Right.
field or between white lines. We've
Exactly.
we've been very reserved in any criticism of Mike Schilt in terms of what's played out
Yeah.
over the course of a game. Where we have been critical at times is what he is saying to the media and how it's disingenuous, we think, at times, to both the media and the fans. But you can't say it now because what he has been saying and having the glass half full mentality is playing out right now. 59-51 is a good record. They're a game out of the top wildcard spot, and they're 4.5 games behind the Dodgers for first place in the NL West. They're well positioned as they've been all season long. Nothing else matters, to your point. Bryce Johnson can play right field if they win 9 out of every 11 games.
Absolutely.
When you lose 9 out of 11, everyone wants to know where is Fernando Tatis Jr.
Right.
Simple as that. And we'll talk to Kevin. We want to know where Fernando Tatis Jr. is and when he's coming back. But when things are good, they're good.
And honestly, credit to Schilt. Credit to him for staying the course and not giving in and continuously. I'm not going to say I'm glad he was positive all the time, but hey, if that turned into things working out the way it has worked out so far and it leads them to the postseason, then credit to him for whatever course of action that he decided to do this year, which was be as positive as I can, regardless of results, no matter what, have the back of my team, which I think we all agree with is also, no matter what is a good thing. But hey, we lose 9-1. I'm going to call out the bullpen in that one inning when they had a shutout inning. You know, like I'm going to say that this player had a great game even if they lose. And it was looking like that was going to be very awkward at the end of the year, potentially. Still could be.
Right. You can't go 81-81 and only have glowing remarks about your team.
Right. And thankfully now they have turned that around and they are winning. So those remarks and those comments, they just are normal now because they're playing good baseball and it feels like it's not disingenuous. It feels like, yeah, I see it on the field, Mike. I see it. They are playing great baseball. Yeah, hype these guys up. Have their back. I love it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And listen, you're down to 52 games remaining. You've kind of done the tough work.
Yeah.
You know, you look at what they've done here over the last month and who they've beaten and the Orioles and the Guardians and the Dodgers. And You're not playing those teams down the stretch. You have one series against LA remaining. There have been previous years you would have 9 games remaining against the Dodgers in your final 50 games. But with the unbalanced schedule, you've got 3 games against LA. You have more games against the Tigers and White Sox combined than you do against the Dodgers. You know, so that's the truth of it. And I read Fangraphs today that said if there's going to be a time that the Padres are actually going to do this, maybe now is the time. And again, nobody wants to get completely ahead of themselves, but if they're going to win the division, you got to make the playoffs first. It's like you got to walk before you run. But there's a lengthy write-up on the remaining schedule, the performance of the team, the play of the Dodgers, and how some of this may coincide over the next 50 or so days. Now, what I would say is be on guard tonight. Be on guard tonight because it's the Rockies, and you just swept the Dodgers and don't have a hangover effect over the next 3 games. Forget about beating the Dodgers in the division. Just go win the series.
And it's really not about the Dodgers right now anyway. Like the Dodgers are potentially in sight, but the teams that are closer to you matter more, and that's the Diamondbacks, that's the Cardinals, that's the Mets, that's the Braves. We'll get to, hey, we need to really focus on the division when that time comes. Right now, it's, we're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to see what the Dodgers do against the A's. We'll see what happens. But more importantly, what are the Diamondbacks doing? What are the Pirates doing? What are the Cardinals doing? The Mets, the Braves, and today, Cubs beat the Cardinals 6-3. The Braves are down 2-0 to Miami. And
that's a positive.
That's a positive. The only negative, I guess if you can look at it both ways here, Diamondbacks lead the Pirates 5-3, bottom of the 5th inning.
I see it as a negative because I think Arizona's more real than Pittsburgh, and Arizona's playing like San Diego right now.
They are.
Some of the best baseball in the National League. So Gomber, Vasquez, 6:40 first pitch. Padres stay home this weekend. They are 9-2 in their last 11 games. I mean, the run they're on, and I want to say since Tatis went on the IL, I don't have the exact date in front of me, but I think it coincides with the 22-11.
Has it been a month? Over a month?
It's been a month.
It's been over a month,
so I think their 22-11 play. Remember they had the 12-3 run? That was without Tatis.
Yeah.
Then they had the 1-7.
So pretty much this run that they've been on
has been without Tatis. Now, we shot down that argument earlier like, well, it's because of Tatis. No, it's not. I mean, Tatis helps you win, okay?
Yeah.
They haven't always won with him. It's true.
Well,
and they did win without him in 2022. It's true, but it's not because of Fernando Tatis Jr.
It shouldn't be viewed, and it should not be viewed like this. This team is winning because Tatis isn't there.
Yeah,
no. It should be viewed like this. This team is winning and overcoming the loss of Tatis, and that's like a great thing. Because Tatis has been, when he's been out there this year, he's been one of their best offensive players when he has played.
Yep.
And so it could have easily been viewed the other way. Like, they're losing. Okay, this team needs Tatis back badly. It should not be viewed as, oh, thank God Tatis is out because now this team plays better without him. No, they're overcoming the loss of Tatis. And they're overcoming having to have Bryce Johnson have 4 at-bats a game potentially.
Yeah, it's a credit to them, and their pitching staff's been incredible.
For sure,
I mean, some of the pitching they've gotten over the last month has been some of the best in baseball. All right, if you missed it earlier, Michael King in the clubhouse on his status. We'll share that with you on the other side. Will he pitch Sunday or not in this series against the Rockies? Plus, we're at the Naughty Barrel, downtown San Diego, 2 blocks from Petco Park at 9th and Market. They have happy hour going on right now until 6 p.m. Jim is looking like he wants to order a fried Twinkie at the break. So we'll have an update for you on that as well, plus the latest on Michael King. Kevin Acee at 5:30. Stay with us. It's Jon and Jim. And we have an Olympic update for you. Even though I've forgotten every single time over the course of the Olympics, we do have an Olympic update for you. iHeartRadio is the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics. This NBC Olympic Report is brought to you by Islands Restaurants, your local paradise.
continue live from Naughty Barrel with the faithful looking at the Padres-Rockies series and getting ready for the weekend. Now back to Jon and Jim.
All right, back with you, Naughty Barrel. Jim has ordered his fried Twinkie.
I have.
We've got barbecue on the way.
Yeah.
You can vote for the Naughty Barrel.
At the San Diego Best Readers Poll 2024.
That's right. You can vote every single day.
Every day. Best barbecue spot in San Diego. Trust us.
Yeah, Jim will vouch for that. Not
Yeah.
only me, but
Yeah, and
I've seen it. Yeah,
yeah.
it looks amazing.
If you have not had it yet, come on down to Naughty Barrel. Weekends, they got the barbecue going, 4 to 6 happy hour, smash burger with the brisket on it. Perfect. It's delicious.
Kevin Acee will join us at 5:30. So in about 10 minutes, we'll catch up with Kevin. There's 3 real injury updates. And we're going to ask about, obviously, Fernando Tatis Jr., obviously Joe Musgrove, and also starter Michael King. Let's hear from Michael King. He's going to start here talking about a liner he took off his leg and update Padres fans on his status. Take a listen.
It's fine. Swelled up on me a little bit, so it's a little sensitive and kind of a gnarly bruise, but it's good.
Sort of day after or days after.
Yeah, days after. Just feeling like some tightness, a little bit of pain where the swelling is. Just soft, It's got to be a little harder than I wanted it to.
What's your understanding of how that affects when you'll next pitch?
We've been taking it day by day. I still don't know full scheduling. It's more of like what I can tolerate that day, and we're moving forward from there. The communication I've had said with them, as in pitching coaches and front office, has been like, we have all these off days, so it's, I don't want to say good timing, but like they have people that they can kind of fill into my place. But whenever I'm ready to go, I'll definitely get the ball.
I'm sorry.
No.
Have you thrown a bullpen with it yet?
No.
No? Do you know where that is?
Hopefully in the next couple days. Yeah.
All right, so it doesn't sound grave, but it also doesn't sound like he's starting Sunday for the Padres at Petco Park if he hasn't thrown his bullpen.
The biggest thing there in Michael King speaking is what he said at the very end, which was, he hasn't thrown a bullpen yet. Yeah. If you're not throwing a bullpen at least today, you're not not happening. So I would suspect bullpen will be maybe tomorrow or Sunday.
Yeah, probably.
And then you're going to see him in that series against the Pirates.
Yeah, because they're off
Pirates.
Monday.
Yeah.
So you can do it Sunday, you can do it Saturday.
And you can still keep King you can keep Cease and Waldron on regular rest into that Pirates series, and then you can give Michael King another one of those games in there.
And you've got baseball's deepest pen, arguably. We'll see how it plays out, and also like a prolific bullpen. And also, they're going to be rested. They didn't play yesterday. They don't play Monday. You can, again, I'm not trying to tax them. I don't need to see Robert Torres for 4 outs every single time he's on the mound. But if you're going to use it, this is why you have them. You have them for Sunday. You're not going to ask them to make a bullpen. Bullpen day is not every 5th day from here on out. But if you have to do it 1 or 2 times to attempt to win a game or a series, that's the whole point of having the depth.
And honestly, I kind of want to see this bullpen in action.
I know, it'd be interesting to watch.
I want to see Tanner Scott. I want to see Jason Adam in a situation that's it's in the 8th or the 7th or this one-run game, right? I want to see Brian Hoeing out there. I want to see the new. That's what I want to see happen, and how Mike Shield is going to deploy this bullpen in close games.
It hasn't happened yet because the day of the deadline, they didn't use Jason Adam and Tanner Scott wasn't here. And then the day after they all got here, they beat the Dodgers 8-1. Yeah. But, leverage situations are coming. Most games in baseball are decided by 3 runs or less. So they are coming, and likely 1 or 2 of these days against Colorado, you're going to be in a 1, 2, 3-run game, 6th, 7th, 8th inning. And I want to see these guys. That's why they're here. Go shorten games. Go hold leads. And, again, you look at this bullpen. And, again, I haven't looked at all 30 teams. But this is an elite bullpen on paper. Now they got to go do it on the field.
Yeah, this is the bullpen that I would say on paper could be considered one of the best in baseball.
Has to be. Has to be one of the best in baseball.
Like, no other bullpen has 2 guys like Scott and Suarez at the back end. Nobody in baseball has
Oh,
that.
by the way, Strada has been elite.
Yeah. as well.
Chase Adams had an excellent year.
Yeah. So I off the top of my head, you're hard pressed to find any other baseball team with the players and the stuff that this bullpen has at the back end. It really is. And that's credit to Preller. Hopefully it works out because Tanner Scott is a rental. So you hope that whenever he's put in a high leverage situation, he comes through because the last thing you want is him only pitching, I don't know, 17 innings the remainder of the season. And 3 of those times are in high leverage situations. And
You're saying, you just don't need him.
Yeah,
but they will. I mean, assuming his health. Oh, by the way, e-break
thank
because
you.
of
Massive
the food at Naughty
e-break.
Barrel.
Massive e-break.
Look at this. So we have
Turkey,
San Diego.
brisket, correct? We got some potato salad and some macaroni salad. with
And
some
of course,
barbecue sauce.
a fried Twinkie on the way.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Thank you. I will definitely be eating a lot of this
This
during the
makes
break.
me want to eat meat, truthfully, because it looks amazing.
Manny.
So I'll consider it at the break.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a good time because
Very
Kevin
good
Acee
time.
joins us in a few minutes. Jim's going to stuff his face. He's got Twinkies. He's
I
got
am.
barbecue. He's got salad. He's got this, that, and the other. So Kevin Acee is going to join us. Let's get the latest here on Fernando Tatis Jr. and Joe Musgrove as the Padres prepare for the Rockies tonight, coming up in 1 hour and 10 minutes roughly at 6:40. Jim is eating. Kevin Acee will join us on the other side. It's Jon and Jim. You're on.
All right, this update is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Padres-Rockies start a 3-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Austin Gomber on the mound for the Rockies against Randy Vasquez for the Padres. And looking at Olympic golf, after day 2, Xander Schauffele is tied for the lead at 11 under par with Tommy Fleetwood and Hideki Matsuyama heading into the weekend. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
We continue live from Naughty Barrel with the faithful looking at the Padres-Rockies series and getting ready for the weekend. Now back to Jon and Jim.
All right, great to connect once again with Kevin Acee, our Padres insider. Padres-Rockies tonight. San Diego 9-2 since the All-Star break. And let's get an update on the health of the Padres. That's one thing they've been dealing with despite the fact that they've been winning. So, Kevin, as always, we appreciate it. Let's start with Michael King. We know he spoke with the media today. It sounded like, he's been dealing with this leg because of a comebacker. So, if Michael King doesn't go Sunday, what's that going to mean for the Padres? What options would they have on Sunday? And thanks for joining.
I think that they would hope that the next 2 pitchers can get through, and especially tonight, that they could use Hoeing and maybe Alex Jacob to be able to kind of cobble together what would be the equivalent of a start on Sunday. Obviously, they could call up somebody. Brito hasn't exactly been pitching a lot or pitching well lately, but they could call up somebody. But I think that one of the benefits of getting Brian Hoeing, of keeping Alex Jacob, who I guess they could have kept Logan Gillespie, had the same thing, but Alex Jacob's been pitching really well, is to be able to say, hey, you know what, there are times that if we have to do this, we can do this. And might be a good option. They have the day off after Sunday. They had the day off yesterday. Bullpen shape, but I would think it's one of those things that could be contingent on how tonight goes. Certainly how tomorrow goes a little bit as well.
Kevin, what's the latest with Fernando Tatis Jr.? I know he's been out there the last couple of games here at Petco on the field before the game, throwing the ball around the field. Is there any update on when he could just start ramping it up here to return to the team?
It's weird that in the last few days since coming off this trip, it's been more like, yeah, we'll see. I felt like there was some I'm trying to I don't want to make it more pessimistic now, but I thought that there were some people that were expecting him to take pictures. I think he was taking it easy until he gets the next MRI, which I'm not really sure when that is. So by the calendar, I think maybe next week was when they were originally talking to him in their life. My answer is that the update is it's still just them is going status quo and don't really know, which is just normal for the last time you're in there. There's still a stress reaction, so I'm really not sure.
Is any of that to do with they're playing really good baseball, so we don't have to rush him back, or would this be happening regardless?
I think so. Look, we're never going to say. I know, it's kind of crazy. They're playing really good baseball. They continued a good stretch back at the beginning when he first got hurt. They're a better team with Fernando Tatis Jr. I mean, there were a number of games in there where things weren't going well, where it was Fernando Tatis Jr. at that could have made a huge difference, tonight. And they want Fernando back. And I think they would be. I don't think they would rush if things weren't going well. So it is impossible to say, hey, you know what? You think you can, but remember, what are there? I lose track. What are there? 46 years still left in his contract after this year? Yeah. This is kind of a long-term deal as well. This guy is still only 25.
That's a good point. Kevin Acee is with us, our Padres insider challenge in San Diego Sports 760. So all these updates. What about Joe Musgrove? We threw the City game. They could have gotten aggressive with them if they maybe wanted to. It seems like they'll be a little more conservative. What kind of timeline is Joe on, in your opinion?
We're going to wait and see how he comes out of Sunday. I'm not even sure where he's going on Sunday. I thought it was Fresno with Lake Elsinore, but I can't say that with 100% certainty. But that he will pitch on Sunday. They thinking at this point another rehab start. Joe is not thinking that, but he, officially is thinking, yeah, whatever they want. Joe's going to keep pushing as long as he comes out of it well. But he also is adamant he's only if that fits into the plan. And really, their plan is they'd like to have him back at essentially full. Like, okay, you can go 5 innings. You can give us 75 pitches. And that's when they want to have him back. And he's at least 2 rehab starts away from being able to do that.
Kevin, what does AJ Preller trading away like almost the entire farm system minus Salas and DeVries tell you about where this team is right now? Like from his standpoint, going all in and his mindset.
I don't think it says anything about AJ Preller and his job status because AJ Preller has always been this guy. It says that they are in win now mode because the team had, he did some pretty heavy duty convincing to, say, hey, we're going to be better off if we get Ryan for a few years, we're getting out of Scott for a couple years, and, the rentals that we're getting are going to help us this year, which, helps us with tickets next year. I mean, he did a lot of convincing to be able to say we'd be better off here than to keep Robbie selling. He's like, okay, yeah, he's good, but you know what? I don't think he's going to be much more than whatever comp he would make about that for the future. And we can, look, our farm system, they have been adamant. Now, it's teenagers, it's what other teams weren't necessarily interested in. Is a 17, 18-year-old guy, other than those 2 that they weren't going to trade. What they wanted, if you saw some of the trades, it was more major league ready talent that was, what the top end of the market. But he was able to convince Eric Grutner, Eric Katrinda in particular, that this is now is our time, and these guys are giving away. They're good, but we got better guys. We got really good system. We'll be fine. So it really, honestly, I don't know what you guys think, but this was like status quo AJ Preller. I mean, it was like super creative, very aggressive. And haven't we seen that before? I mean, that doesn't mean his job is in question. I don't think that affected what AJ Preller did.
Yeah, I mean, we both think it's aggressive, and maybe he did overpay in the eyes of people around baseball, but at the same time, it's about win now, and he's created probably one of the best bullpens in the league. How were they close at all to making like a blockbuster move for a pitcher or a starting pitcher, or was, with the asking prices what they were, did they pivot hard to what they got at the trade deadline instead?
From the understanding, they were not close. Now, they did make a play, and I don't know what it was, but they made a play for Bradley, the starter for Tampa Bay. Yep. Now, that's not somebody that was necessarily on the market, and you didn't hear any other talk about it. But they made a play there, and I don't know what that was. And they also did, obviously, not as serious from my understanding, make plays for Flaherty and a couple others, but not like we really think this is going to happen because we're not giving up our top guys. And so we're always going to keep people like the Pirates for Martin Perez and maybe some other 4 or 5 guys, the 4th or 5th spots in the rotation guys, so that when there's 15 minutes left in the deadline before the deadline and we need a starting pitcher to cover innings, that's where we're going to pivot to. That seems, I lose track of time, but I know where I was when I was talking to people. So around Washington. So we're talking about the middle of the last trip. So like a week and a half ago, or 8-9 days ago. That's what it seemed like, that we're all over the board, but we're probably going to end up going back of the rotation because there's people there. We know we can get them there. Like, no matter what, we know we can get another starter because all we really need is a guy who's going to give us 7-8 starts. That was also about the time that Joe threw the bullpen in Washington that like blew people's mind about how healthy he was and how good it looked coming out of his hand and moving. And so it was like, okay, we know now what we think that we want to do. We want to fortify the bullpen. I was not hearing that they were going to fortify it this way, but we want to fortify the bullpen, and we want to get a back end of the rotation started.
Right, and the truth is that that was their need. They didn't need an ace. They have aces on the staff, but they do need 5+ starting pitchers, and we'll see if they've addressed that or not. Kevin Acee is with us right now on Jon and Jim. So, Kevin, as you know, because you've covered this team, I mean, we've been down these paths before with winning streaks and losing streaks. It's interesting that, you sweep the Dodgers, but you're 2-5 against the Rockies this year. How do you see this weekend? I mean, the Rockies are really down. The Padres are playing great baseball. How do they avoid a hangover effect, or do you think they are on high alert considering the way they've played against some of the lesser teams like Colorado?
I think they're on high alert, and I would think that this speaks to, okay, if you are who you look like and you are who you say you are, which is a team that's super focused, and again, I said, like, who they look like. They look like that team. If you are, though, the last time against the Rockies doesn't happen. And, the Rockies came in here. They just swept Texas. They've taken one. I think this was their 7th win in a row by the time they left San Diego. And they've sucked since, just like they sucked before that 7-game win streak. I will tell you, the Rockies played really well. The Angels series is the one that really kind of spoke to me about, like, wow, you guys got a problem of a, focus letdown sort of thing. But regardless, the Rockies stink. And let's look beyond that, even though the Padres aren't. Let's look beyond that. So you go to Pittsburgh. Okay, I don't know. I haven't looked at who's pitching for Pittsburgh. That could be a really tough series, but the Pirates aren't great, right? Then you go to Miami, which got decidedly worse. So, like, they were terrible, and now they're, like, super duper terrible. And then you got Pittsburgh again, right? And then you've got Colorado again. Yep. I'm saying that I just go 5 series, 15 games. I think they're super important. You can get to the point where, and then it depends on what the Dodgers are doing, I guess, and do you really want to chase the division? But, like, you can solidify yourself a wild card spot in the next 15 games for the most part. I think it's super important.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah.
I think you go 10-5 or better. You don't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, no team goes perfect, but you go 10-5, you go 5 more games over 500, you're 13 up. I mean, someone's going to drop off. Arizona's play well. But not everyone's playing 6-7 baseball the rest of the way. So if they keep playing well, they'll be well positioned. Kevin, always appreciate it. Next week, the Padres are going to be in Miami, but we'll catch up with you next Friday. We appreciate you hopping on as always.
No, take care.
All right, we'll react to that on the other side. Plus, Jim's back page. Plus, Jim is eating fried Twinkies and barbecue.
Correct.
At the Naughty Barrel here downtown. They've got happy hour going on right now. This is the spot to kick off your weekend. Padres-Rockies in an hour. Whether you have tickets or not, join us. 9th and Market. We're here for the next 20 minutes or so. Jim's back page. Reaction to some timelines for Padres from Kevin. Coming up next on Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it's Schaefer. Mortgage rates are down. They've been dropping big time, so it's a great time to call Loan Pronto. They've got APRs right now in the 5s. That's right, they've got them in the 5s. So if you got stuck with a high rate last year and want to refinance, this is a great time to call and lower your payment. Or you can use this opportunity to get cash out of your home's equity and pay off those credit cards and the personal loans and the other high-rate debt and car loans. Loan Pronto can help you use these lower rates to get the cash you need in a matter of just days, hours, really. You can do a full refi, or you can do an Equity Express line of credit. Homeowners who call Loan Pronto typically cut their monthly payments by $850, which is obviously a ton of money. Bottom line, your home value's way up, and mortgage rates have come down big time, making this a great time to act. Call today for a free 30-second rate quote. You may be able to skip your next 2 house payments. Call 619-207-4336. That's 619-207-4336 or loanpronto.com. 619-207-4336. Equal housing lenders, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
continue live from Naughty Barrel with the faithful looking at the Padres-Rockies series and getting ready for the weekend. Now back to Jon and Jim.
Always great to be at Naughty Barrel. We've met a ton of Padres fans here today. Thank you for saying hi when you do swing by. We're here every Friday, home game. Just a few more remaining, truth be told, over the last couple of months of the regular season. Jim's been eating all day. Ever since I found you this afternoon.
Now, I haven't had time because we've had people come up to us to talk to us and take pictures, which we greatly appreciate.
Right.
I just haven't had time to really dive into the macaroni salad, the potato salad, the beef brisket, the turkey, and, of course, the deep-fried Twinkie over here.
Dude, how are you going to eat that? And then Aaron's going to be like, do you want to go out to dinner?
No, I've made the executive decision. Since you are not going to be eating any of this, I'm taking this home.
Yeah, that's smart.
I'm taking that home.
Okay, you're going to take it home.
I'm going to take it home.
Yeah, that's smart.
For me and Aaron.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Now, do I take home the fried Twinkie? That's the question.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you mean? You eat one and maybe bring one home for her. You can eat one and then bring her one.
Or
you can both be man.
No. No, Aaron gets one. Aaron didn't eat desserts for months leading up to the wedding. She gets a fried Twinkie.
She gets whatever the hell she wants.
Right.
She can eat whatever she wants.
All right. So, by the way, programming alert. Jim's not here next week, so more of a reason to tune in.
Sorry? Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. All right, let's get to this.
McDonald's, John, is testing a much bigger burger.
How much bigger?
Oh, it's big. They're testing a new burger in select international markets. So maybe I go and get one this weekend.
Zurich.
Yeah, give me a cheeseburger in Zurich, please.
Mm-hmm.
The new burger is known as the Big Arch. It's being tested in several international markets, including Canada and Portugal. Damn it, just missed out. With hopes of a larger release should the product test well. The burger consists of 2 beef patties, 3 slices of cheese, crispy onions, slivered onions, pickles, lettuce, and the chain's new Big Arch sauce.
14 ounces.
Quote, it's a quintessential McDonald's burger that satisfies guests' hunger with a twist on our iconic flavors. According to Business Insider, the new burger weighs, like you said, 14 ounces and clocks in at 1,065 calories, containing 96% of the recommended daily fat intake for the average adult. By comparison, John, the double quarter pounder, which weighs 8 ounces and has 760 calories, is currently the biggest burger at McDonald's core menus in the U.S.
So is this, I'm reading an article on this, like that people, they're doing this to revive sales. Is this what people are looking for? Actually, like more?
Huh?
Yeah, like it's like they need, is this what people want? They want 14 ounces of burger when they go to fast food? That seems like a lot, is my point.
Dude, if you bring back the dollar menu, and have it actually be the dollar menu,
right,
I think it would be better received than just adding a new
the Big
burger.
Arch.
Yeah. So
yep.
I look, would I try it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But would it be my first thing I'd order McDonald's? No, not even close. I don't want a giant burger. I'd probably just want some chicken nuggets or like a regular quarter pounder.
They sell I'm just reading this real quick, 2.5 billion burgers every year, or 75 burgers per second around the world. That's unbelievable. That's amazing.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
A federal judge, John, overturned a $4.7 billion jury verdict for the Sunday ticket subscribers.
Yes,
Did you see
I
this?
heard this, yes. So the NFL was due to be out that, $4 or $5 billion.
Yes.
But now that's been overturned.
Yes. The lawsuit covered 2.4 million residential subscribers and 48,000 businesses in the United States who paid for the package on DirecTV of out-of-market games from 2011 through the 2022 season. The jury on June 27th awarded the $4.7 billion in damages to residents and commercial subscribers after it ruled the NFL violated antitrust laws in distributing out-of-market Sunday afternoon games on a premium subscription service. From the judge, the district attorney says, quote, without the testimonies of Dr. Rasher and Dr. Zona, no reasonable jury could have found class-wide injury or damages.
I mean, that's kind of a big swing from
you
owing
think?
$5 billion to an overturn. I mean, even for the NFL, $5 billion sounds like a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of
isn't
numbers,
it?
a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. But
So right now they don't know anything.
they don't know anything. Oh,
Okay.
shocker! The NFL gets a break.
Right.
Finally, my last story for the week.
Ever.
And it's going to be your favorite story of all time.
Okay.
The San Diego Zoo
Pandas.
will officially be open to see the giant new pandas Yu Chuan and Xin Bao
August 8th.
starting Thursday next week.
I honestly want to go, but you know it's going to be crazy Thursday. They've unveiled
think?
like new traffic patterns because it's going to be so crazy.
According to the zoo, the front parking lot may likely be completely full.
Forever?
No, as it's going to be likely filled up quickly as in normal during peak attendance periods. In this case, quote, it will be, as they said, pandemonium. When the lot's filled, the city zoo encourages visitors to take advantage of the free shuttle pickups and drop-off locations at parking lots around the zoo, located on the east side of Park Boulevard.
I am so excited.
I know you are.
I am so excited. You know, you can buy all these extra packages and see them like early.
Yeah.
And
The zoo is offering 3 ways for guests to experience the giant pandas. While visiting, you can either obtain a complimentary, quote, giant panda time ticket or join the standby line. Additionally, guests can make reservations for an exclusive 60-minute, quote, early
Yes,
morning with
that's what I
pandas
want.
walking tour. The San Diego Zoo opens up daily from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
that's what I want. By the way, I think it starts at $92. $92 plus the zoo ticket, but you're in early and
I've
you
never
get. I
never
think you
seen you
get
more
to
excited
like
for something in your life.
you get to like pet them. I don't think you really get to pet them. I
No.
want to just like roll around with them,
Like,
and,
oh,
take
they're so
photos
cute.
and just.
I don't think they're going to let
Pet
you
'em.
get close to them.
I think you
John.
get to pet them, right?
No, you don't.
Uh,
For $92, you're not getting a
you don't
pet
get to pet
panda.
'em? I know, but I want to.
For $92, you'll get to see a panda from like 20 feet away through like three see-through glasses.
I don't see why we can't all just like take photos together. They're non-threatening.
Why don't you
are
just
they?
ask the zoo if you can buy the panda and bring him home?
I don't think they'll allow that.
No, I don't think they'll allow that either.
Well, I'm excited. That's next Thursday. Well,
Which I will
Jim's
not
in
be
Italy.
here. Yeah, I'll be gone. I will be out of the country.
Well, have a great trip, Jim.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to see you.
See you next
when
fall.
Are you back?
I get back into the country on August 11th, and we'll see if I
You're
come back
taking
on
the
that
12th
Monday.
off. Did you take the 12th off? You are so soft, Brett. He's taking a day off after getting back from a trip.
We'll see if I.
Why
come
are
back.
you
to talk.
surprised?
Because exactly, it's Jim.
Maybe I'll come
What
back.
do you-
Depending on how I feel, maybe I'll come back.
Depending on how you feel. You talk.
I didn't know. I used your thinking because last time I booked the trip.
Well, you can't come back day off if you have this
Yeah. Well, last time I booked the trip, I said I'll work that day, and I got delayed. So
Yeah, but this is the day after.
who knows, John?
Right, you might get stuck. It's possible. All right.
Keeping all options open.
Well, keep us updated. Turn on your iPhone, so we can follow you.
I will. Maybe I will.
All right. Manny Valencia, thank you, engineering
Thanks,
today
Manny.
all day long on San Diego Sports 760. We appreciate you. Thank you, Brent, as always. If you missed
Thank you,
anything
Naughty
today,
Barrel.
sportssd.com, iHeartRadio app. Naughty Barrel, get here this
Fantastic.
weekend. Amazing spot for Manny and Brent and Jim. I'm John. Get to the Naughty Barrel. Keep it here at San Diego Sports 760.
Okay, bye.